And all of a sudden, it took.
Yo, what's up, my brothers? How you doing? Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Chop It Up. Please like and subscribe.
Gentlemen, what's the deal?
What's going on, brothers? Good to see you guys again. Good to see you guys again. And that's right, D. Like and subscribe, y'all. Like and subscribe.
Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and Spotify and Apple Music. But before we start off, I want to give a big shout out to our brother Derek. Today's Derek's birthday. Happy born day, my brother, man. We love you, man.
Happy birthday, kid.
Happy birthday. And my man behind you about to come out and give you a little gift right there. You know what I'm saying?
He did a little cameo.
Man. We like a Jackson 5 out here.
He said you can't get all the shine on your birthday. He said you have to show off.
Yeah.
So Derek, since it's your birthday, man, I want you to start off and tell us how was your week, brother.
Yo, man, this is a really dope week for me because anybody who knows been following the show at least, I always talk about my family, I always talk about my son. Especially my oldest, he's in the Navy right now, so I got a chance to talk to him again. He's on his way down to Pensacola. He's in Pensacola right now, about to start A school at the beginning of February, and I had my first little taste of fatherhood today, like post childhood. Like he called me. He's off my cell phone plan. He went ahead and he bought his own cell phone, and I tried to keep him on there, but it's so funny. T-Mobile was not having it. They just weren't helping me out. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, son, I got a new plan. You do a new phone, and you know how you do it because they give you a new phone. Yeah, you got a new phone. You can stay on. I can think it's cheap or whatever. It just was not. They were not helping me out, man. And he finally had to cut the cord, man. Had to get his own phone. He's on AT&T now, and I'm like, all right. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Wow. That was my thing today, man. And hey, thanks, Lisa. I like Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. And so that was my first little taste of him being an adult, like completely. And I know I probably won't see him. He probably never live under my roof again. But I ain't wanted to have a wife.
Hey, that's good. Not under the roof, man. That's a lot of bills. You're saving a lot of money.
Yeah, it's true indeed. True indeed. You know what I mean? But I'm a proud dude, man. I'm very proud of him, man. He's
nice, man.
Congratulations. I'm trying to get some of these cats out of my house.
So, Ron, how was your week, brother? How was your week, man?
My week was good, D. You know what I'm saying? I mean, first of all, I want to wish Derek a happy birthday. That's number one. Thank you. And I also want to apologize to Calvin and Derek because I had to cancel on dinner, But I'm going to make that up to y'all. We're going to reschedule that for this week, and we're going to get it popping.
That's what's happening. Beautiful place. Though.
Yeah, my week was pretty good.
It was a beautiful suggestion, though, man.
Yeah. We're going to do it again. We're going to definitely do it again. But my week was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Me and D had an interest in visit at the barbershop yesterday. And I know what people think, and they saying, look at these two bald guys going to the barbershop.
No, man. We got our shit trimmed up. I got my shit trimmed up.
Yeah, you got to get your face trimmed up. And sometimes you got to be connected to what's going on in the barbershop, the rhetoric and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Me and D was in there when we was talking about the vaccine. And one of the brothers said they took the Motorola vaccine. And I said, the Motorola? I said, D, you have it? He looked at me. I looked at D, and I said, you mean the Moderna? He goes, yeah, I took that too. Yo, that's why you got to go to the barbershop. There's a lot of funny shit in there.
A lot of funny shit.
My man said he took the Motorola.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But other than that, everything's good. My family's good. My son went back to school. I took him back to school. rode up there and had to, have all that luggage in the car and stuff. But he's doing good. He's settled in and everything's good. They go, my man, right there. They go, my man.
You get the real when you watch the stop up, man.
Yeah.
Family shit, man.
But other than that, everything was good though.
That's good. Kelvin, how was your week, man?
My week was good. I had 2 auditions this week. So one of them was I'm up for a part in Roots the musical, and then Good Times the movie. So we working on that.
We're working.
Yo, first of all, Good Times should be the musical, and freaking Roots should be the movie. You can't do a musical with Roots.
I was thinking about that. What would you do if somebody came out trying to make Roots a musical? You know they ain't doing it. Protesting outside.
Somebody home was talking about
DB outside.
Derek is right. To somebody, that's a great idea. He's right.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see any more movies like that anymore.
I'm with you. I got you.
I'm good. I don't want to see any more 12 Years a Slave, none of that shit anymore.
All right, let me say. I'm gonna say how my week was, and just so I don't wind up incriminating myself, I'm gonna say this in a hypothetical. I'll just ask this question: if you have stray cats around your house, in your yard all the time, and you happen to, I'm not talking about myself. I'm just saying in general, like leave poison out.
That's wrong. Don't do that.
I didn't say me. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about somebody like me. So what I'm saying is, if let's say you just try to poison rodents, and then stray cats happen to eat it, is that illegal?
Ooh, bro, I don't even want you to ask the question.
I don't know. I love cats. So I'm a big dude that loves cats. I love cats.
I love all animals. I love all animals.
DC and brothers, man.
I love cats. So the reason you got to keep cats around, I live across the street from a lot. I feed the stray cats because I don't want the cats. I don't want the mice in the house. So I keep the cats around. So I
was just saying that hypothetically. I'm not talking about like I would do that. I'm just saying I like the stray cats in my yard because I hate when I put garbage out and then it like stays in the bag. You know what I'm saying? So I like
chef everybody.
Creatures to come out right. That's what I'm saying because it helps them all eat. So that's why.
Everybody.
But the week was good though. Other than that, the week was
good. That's good.
So Kelvin, you just want to know this in case a neighbor does something like this. You want to know if it's illegal.
Because I see them doing that because the cats go into other yards and everybody is not as cat friendly as I am. You know.
And the answer.
Kelvin loved the cats. Kelvin loved the cats.
Yeah. The answer to you.
Who doesn't love pussy?
I'm not.
Pussy's so good, women love it nowadays.
Let me say this. Are there any sponsors? That's all I want to know. If they are, the sponsors have left the building. He was better off with the poison.
Oh man. Now my week was emotional because we laid yesterday my friend's son to rest, and today we laid my cousin to rest, and it's kind of different because with the funeral things now. I don't know if Kelvin, if you did any funerals lately, but people got to go in, and you got to leave out, and you try to give respect to the family and stuff. And this kid's funeral yesterday, and my cousin, I understand, I didn't get to attend his because it was in Maryland. You try to leave respect for the families because they want to pack more of their family in, more of their people in, but you got to rotate, and it's kind of funny with the social distance and things like that. So it was just an emotional last 2 days, I got another funeral on Tuesday to go to, but otherwise life was good, man. I'm here with you guys, and we chopping it up, so I'm good. Yeah. So this segment now, we changed this segment to gave it a new title. This is called the chopping block, right? So on the chopping block this week, we have still Capitol Hill chaos, gentlemen. Because that's right. So we go to producer Jamie bringing out on that segment right now. Jamie,
that these people were so unafraid of the cops, who were sparsely distributed through our Capitol, which hasn't been breached since 1812, when it was burned. The reason they could easily and casually, with their cameras on, film themselves throwing things through the walls of our Capitol, our property, going inside the Capitol, sitting in Speaker Pelosi's office, casually take pictures of themselves, have that played on Fox News, they know that they are not in jeopardy. Because the cops are taking selfies with them, walking them down the steps to make sure they're not hurt, taking care with their bodies, not like they treated Freddie Gray's body. White Americans aren't afraid of the cops. White Americans are never afraid of the cops, even when they're committing insurrection, even when they're engaged in attempting to occupy our capital to steal the votes of people who look like me. Because in their minds, they own this country, they own that capital, they own the cops work for them, and people like me have no damn right to try to elect a president. Because we don't get to pick the president. They get to pick the president. They own the president. They own the White House. They own this country. And so when you think you own it, you own the place, you ain't afraid of the police because the police are you. And the police reflect back to them. We're with you. You're good. We're not going to hurt you because you're not them. Guarantee you if that was a Black Lives Matter protest in D.C., there would already be people shackled, arrested, or dead.
Yo,
Drop the mic on that one.
Drop the mic.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something about Joy Reid. What I noticed, like, she is just the consummate professional for me because I've seen her present news before, and this was completely different. You know what I mean? Like this, someone, and I want to shout out to those people, whoever her boss is or whoever her producers, whoever's up top, they gave her the green light. They gave her the green light because I believed her. And they said, listen, Joy, go out there and speak your, you know what I mean? And speak your piece. Go out there and speak your truth. And she did it, man. And she did it. And it's very rare to see on television. It's very, very rare to see that. And I believed her, man. And I'm like, man, that is that's an incredible thing for me to see. Very empowering to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was amazing.
At least it's right. She's super dope, man. The realest one out there, man.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and Rod, that's what I would say. With the white man going after the other white man was similar, well, actually cops. So now you know how they had to say black on black crime. Should we call this police on police crime?
Might as well.
Might
as well. The thing is too, they these investigations that the FBI doing, they're uncovering that they were actually off-duty police officers out there in the riots. They also found out too that they were NYFD firefighters that were out there as well. Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me. I did tell you guys last episode, I said there's going to be a lot of openings in the Capitol Police, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs outside the Capitol Police too. But to show proof that there's jobs opening, they just hired Craig and Day Day from the Friday After Next to top flight security. They're going to take over the watching the Capitol. But I want to take a second, and I just want to say I don't want to make it seem like I'm beating up on the Capitol Police. There were a lot of Capitol Police that was out there doing their thing. They was out there fighting with them. They was out there macing them. That type of stuff. Because the thing is, my experience from the police department, yeah, you're going to have your bad apples, but there's majority of the guys are going to be out there doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? But there's going to be a lot of people. Like I said, there's a couple of cases now in the NYPD, couple of departments along the country. I think they even had one guy that actually resigned because social media is the new police. All the evidence is on social media. Yep. And
everybody doing everything for the likes they tell on themselves.
That's right. They tell on themselves.
When I was thinking about this, and I think I might have mentioned to one of my other homeboys that when they said the FDNY, all these people caught up, it doesn't surprise us.
No, it doesn't surprise.
Who threw the water hoses on the people back in the 60s?
Yeah, the fire department.
The fire department, right? Mm-hmm. The cops were there. They threw the dogs on them. So none of this should surprise any of us. The politicians. They were smart enough to wear hoods back in the day where they could breathe through. I don't know why they can't breathe through a mask now, but they could breathe through the hoods back then. So maybe the little holes give them better ventilation. I don't know, but it shouldn't surprise anybody that white men are just using a playbook they've been doing for decades.
Yeah.
Centuries,
well,
so
the reason for those white hoods back in the days is because those people in the Klan were people in the community. They were your store owners. They were the police officers. They were the businessmen. And as you can see in this, like people that's getting in trouble, you got real estate people, you got doctors, you got bankers. There's a whole bunch of people that were involved in that riot that you would consider to be upstanding people, but they're not.
It's interesting. Yeah. First of all, I think we just have to all recognize that the country was founded by racist people. The country was founded for white people and based on supremacy. That's what it is. So as D mentioned the 60s, and you mentioned, previous times, every era of Black people have had to fight this oppression for every era of white supremacy. I think the difference now is this. It feels different that we have more information now than we've ever had. Correct. We have more, resources and knowledge now than we've ever had. And also there's a pendulum that's swinging. They can tell this is almost like the last stand. And you only have less than 2 decades before the entire map is flipped upside down as far as race is concerned. So I think this is the last stand, and I think that's what we saw at the Capitol. So it's just inflamed now. And one person told me this week, one of my cousins, he was like, if you think this is Trump, he's like, you're missing it. They just made him the face of this thing. This thing is so much bigger.
Exactly.
So much bigger. He's just a pawn. He's just a pawn.
Yeah. The thing is, Trump basically, we had 2 years of our first 2 terms of the first Black president, right? And, in the country somewhat kind of pulled the cover over racism a tad bit, but then Trump came in and pulled the covers off. And that's basically what it is. And what we saw at the Capitol is, a certain percentage of white America that's in fear of losing their position or ownership, as they say, in this country. They saw Georgia flip as a result of Black people, Detroit. They also saw Pennsylvania with Philly and all that stuff. And that's what this is about. Basically, Black people help get their leader out of office. And that's why they're so angry. Yeah. That's why Trump is so angry too. That's why he wants to overturn certain things. Because
Damien's right. He's the scapegoat for them.
Yeah, he's the scapegoat.
Yeah, they don't even. But see, back to that point you was making, Rodney. They don't even that same percentage, or much of that same percentage, doesn't own the country. Doesn't own the country. No, you know what I'm saying? They either believe they do, or they need you to be something else. You know what I mean? It's just so it's not adding up, and it's not making sense. The funny thing about it, and they're attacking everything. They're attacking the police. They don't care what's in the way. There was a police officer who said, he wanted, like, he was being attacked by the rioters, and he said, he wanted to thank, because a certain amount of them, they protected him. There's a certain part of the crowd that protected him. But then he said, thank you for helping me out. But then, but at the same time, he was like, fuck you for being out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like, and that's it in a nutshell. And mind you, these are the same people. A lot of these are the same people who are, Blue Lives Matter people. You know what I mean? Yeah. So think about that for a second, man. What are you really talking about?
Yeah, Blue Lives Matter was out the window that day.
No. And the lady go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Rodney.
No, you heard people yelling out to the cops at that riots, saying that basically, oh, we stood by you guys, talking to the police, basically telling them that they shouldn't be in their way to let them do this, get out the way, because we supported you, basically we supported you in a wrong. But the Capitol Police didn't have anything to do with that situation, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But I think what Calvin said was dead on spot. Calvin said this is about white supremacy.
Yeah, and the
this
lady
that I do know. Go ahead, D.
No, the lady that got shot, right? Come to find out, she was in serious debt. She had, it was, I think Lyndon Johnson said, always gave somebody to blame, right? So the white man is always looking for somebody to blame for whatever problems they had. She was in so much debt. She was blaming the politicians for all her debt, but she didn't want to sign those crazy ass predatory loans that you had Democrats who trying to fight against predatory loans. And she signed one. I think it was a crazy, wild percentage. I mean, it was more than 20%. I think it was like maybe close to 70% on this loan. So she's mad about that. And I think that's most of these white men are out here that they can't bring back their little coal mines. They don't want to go with modern technology and let me go get some wind turbines and all this other stuff. They don't want to do that stuff. Now they figure like, I'm white, I should just get this shit. This should be my shit. And no, motherfucker, you got to work for some shit. More Black and Latino women are most entrepreneurs out there in the world, in the country right now. Yeah. So those kind of things, they like, why can't it be me? No, work. Yeah. Pull up your bootstraps now.
Yeah, exactly.
Consider for a second, though, like if you consider for a second, this is the country, and it's predominantly white, and either everything from the educational system to the judicial system, everything is set up and skewed in a certain way for your benefit. Now you have to come around and learn a different way because you've done everything that they told you. Because remember, they got taught certain lessons too. So they've done everything that they were told to do. You know what I mean? And whites, was set up a certain way for white supremacy. They told them, listen, you got to do X, Y, Z. The whole thing was planned out for them. They did X, Y, Z, whatever. And now their systems are being dismantled. You know what I mean? Due to necessity. Mm-hmm. I mean, life goes on. The world keeps moving. It keeps revolving. You have to upgrade your skills. You have to learn how to adapt. And they never learn how to do that. So now what do? You know what I mean? You're a middle-aged person. You're sitting around. You did everything X, Y, Z. They moved your job over here. They did whatever. And you don't know how to react. And what happens? You go out there and you wind up at the Capitol, tearing up your life, man. You know what I mean?
But how? The question is, why does that point to us? And that's the thing that's always
we're the scapegoat.
That's the problem. I was driving today and I actually saw a billboard, a digital billboard that said, if you know anybody that was a part of the Capitol riots, there's a 1-800 number you can call. I mean, you can email. And that's in New York, and that was amazing. Like that. I mean, I looked at one guy today. He's an attorney, just got fired, and I'm sitting there saying, like, okay, so you didn't overthrow the government, you didn't reverse the election, and you got fired, and you probably going to jail. I just don't see where the win is at. I just don't see where the planning was at. And so, if you did get inside the Capitol, what you did. What was you going to do? Change the ballots? Like you change what the Senate was going to vote?
Exactly. What were you going to do?
I'm saying that was the plan, and you're going to just Trump is going to be the king now. Like I don't even understand how you had people out there that came up with this ridiculous plan of like anarchy or something. And it was
no plan. They had this one lady, and they was like, they put a microphone in her face, and she's crying and everything. It's like, what were you doing? Well, why were you there? We were starting the revolution. Like it was a party or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you hear what you just said? You know what I'm saying? Right. Do you hear what you just said? Yeah.
We do realize that some of these people ain't all there. They
they find those too to put on camera.
That's like you said, it's got so many people on there on social media, because like me and D always talk about this all the time. We say social media is undefeated. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If they want to get you on social media, somebody sees your face, they're going to turn your ass in. And that's what's basically happening to most of these people. People are getting turned in left and right.
But they have the ultimate constellation prize. You still have an elderly white male who's taking the White House. Like that should be enough right there. You still have that in place. You still have somebody that looks just like the people that laid out the Constitution. So I don't understand why it's such a problem. It's such a culture shock.
Yo,
Trump
Damien's right.
Believe.
Dave Chappelle said it well. You come get these nigga lessons, and that's what they got.
Exactly.
But
they still didn't get it the way they really could have got
it. They walked away from it. That's what they didn't get.
Yeah.
Now they got lawyers and stuff like that. You got over 100,000 people getting caught out there with videos and all this other stuff. And the people in their neighborhood that don't believe in, I was out in New Bern, North Carolina, and you can see like different signs. You see a Trump sign, then you see a Biden sign and stuff like that. You see a Black Lives Matter sign and Blue Lives Matter. Those people with those Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter signs and all that, they're telling on these people like, oh, that's John so-and-so, and they snitching on them. And they should tell them. They should tell them,
Yeah. You got people telling on their parents.
That was deep. That was deep.
Yeah. I talked to somebody. Somebody said, "Oh, the daughter snitched on the mother and the uncle." I said, "She didn't snitch. She told. She wasn't part of that. She told. That's the difference. Snitching and telling is two different things." I tell people.
And now they're trying to cop out. Like Lisa said, they're trying to cop out because they're trying to say Trump ordered them to do this.
Correct. That's going to be their defense. In court. They were listening to the commander in chief. That's what a lot of their defense is going to be in court. But I'm going to tell you one thing: who's going to make out the most in this are going to be lawyers. That's why lawyers are scooping up their cases like crazy, because they're going to make a ton of money off these losers. You know what I mean? A ton of money off these losers.
But the other thing is, there's a lot of people that took tours the day before. They're saying so they want to see that there's some culpability with the people that actually worked in the Capitol, because they said there's an inordinate amount of people that took the tour the day before. And because they kind of knew that building a little better. I mean, this wasn't the first time they were there. So they came in that week and they went back to hotels to get people where they stayed at, all these different things. I will say they are going to make an example, it looks like, because you can't let this go.
Well, they suspended. I think they suspended over 18 Capitol Police already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've been suspended. Like I told you, there's going to be openings. Yeah, there's going to be opening. Craig and Day is in there.
Right. And the thing is, when you look at Trump, right, in his messaging and everything like that, he really wanted to be a dictator. He wanted to control the media, just like all other dictators. Where you could shut off. The biggest thing is the first thing they do when you go to a country, right? You shut off the broadcast from radio, television, any kind of way, so people can't get the message. And now that his tongue's been cut off from him, I wonder where he's going to go at and how it's going to go. But I'm glad they shut him off because he was becoming a real dictator, and a lot of people profited off him doing this. Twitter profited off him. All his cable TV shows, they made a ton of money on it. Now everybody say, "Oh, this motherfucker went too far. Let's cut his legs off now." But it's like kind of too far. You got the My Pillow bitch dude. He's still up there sucking Trump's cock. And then and then because whatchamacallit cut off. Oh no, I'm sorry, but yeah, that's words are coming out of my mouth. Don't reflect.
His name is Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell is My Pillow guy.
Yeah. And then I'm glad that the Under Armour dude broke shop early. He's like, "Yo, I don't want this smoke. Black people wear my shit."
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something.
Right.
Yeah. First of all, the stock price on Twitter just freaking crashed as a result of freaking getting rid of Trump. It plummeted. The thing is, don't like kind of like you see all these people jumping ship on Trump, all these companies and stuff like this. Now, the 4 years that he was in office, none of them jumped ship on him during the whole 4 years. So they probably, towards the end of his term, they're probably thinking, hey, we got to disassociate ourselves from this guy because we got to get with the new administration because we got to keep making money. Mm-hmm. So the bottom line is the Capitol thing came along at the perfect time for a lot of people to say, oh, here's our reason to jump ship. We could be out. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that's really what it comes down to. It's about people, being in with whoever's in at the time. You know what I'm saying? Trump was in, so we're going to be on his ship. Now we realize the Democrats are in power, so now we got to conform to what they want because we need to keep making money, or they may make laws that can hurt us financially. But that's what it all comes down to. So don't we're not going to get caught up saying, oh, Twitter banned them. They should have been banned them. There's a whole bunch of other things I could tell you during his term that he should have got banned for. You know what I'm saying? Right. But that's what it's about.
Let me tell you something. I had a family member got suspended from Facebook for saying vitamin D was good for you, man, during COVID. You know what I'm saying? So really? Really? So yeah, man, I'm telling you, you gotta. Who knows?
So is vitamin D not good for you? Is that?
I don't know. Ask me what the criteria is.
I've been in Facebook jail quite a few times. So I understand the pain. Cause I say some shit and I always wind up in Facebook jail. So it's all good. Welcome to me. I'm a 3-time felon. So
we strike you out, man. What's going on?
You know what I'm saying? So we got like Trump's second impeachment. Any thoughts, guys?
Say that again. What was the question?
Trump's second impeachment. Any thoughts?
Scarlet letter. They made sure they buried him in the history books. I mean,
correct. That's what it was about. They
decimated him. It's one of those situations where any honor that you had for running for the office, any honor that you had to get elected to the office, is all erased. It's like I'd say it's like a dishonorable discharge from the military.
Correct. It stays with you rest of your life.
Yeah, and nobody looks at you the same. And I mean, at the end of the day, and now I don't know if you heard about. I think it was Deutsche Bank, I believe it is. Cut him off. His largest bank that funds him, they cut him off. So but to have that second impeachment, especially for what he had it for, and let me say, the fact that he's getting blamed with this attack on the Capitol, he will go down in history as the worst president in the history of the United States and the most dangerous, with no close second.
Here go my thing. He didn't own slaves. So I don't give George Washington
slavery no more. That's all. He would have tried.
His father tried. Actual slave owners. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw a meme on Instagram. The other day, and it said it had Obama, Bush, and Clinton on the meme, and it says you're supposed to do 2 terms, asshole, not 2 impeachments.
I thought
it was hilarious. Yeah.
You might have sent me that shit. You might have sent me that shit today too.
Yeah, I think he's trying to be I think America's trying to turn him into the crazy cousin that you kind of keep locked in the basement or something, man. You know what I mean? Trying to forget he ever was around, man. Seriously.
Trump got a lot of stuff he got to deal with after he.
They're gonna break him with that money, man. No go to no more. There's 2 banks held up on him. Let me ask you guys another question real quick. These privileged white dudes that sat on the Capitol now that want to go through the metal detectors. Now they understand how our kids that go into urban cities, how they got to go through metal every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, Nancy Pelosi, she implemented a fine if they don't go through or they don't comply with the rules of coming into the Capitol. They're going to get fined. I think it's like $10,000 or $5,000 every time they have an issue with the metal detectors.
They should have metal detectors. Think about this, right?
Yeah, they should.
All the urban areas that we
had metal detectors.
Some of those Senate members and Congress members that's from rural states, they're carrying guns. They got guns on them.
I know. So the thing is, like, once you see Columbine, those schools like that, what's the other school in Florida had the shootings and stuff like that. After something happens, they have metal detectors. They should have them now. Like we had when the 9/11 happened, right? What happened? Before that, everybody go to metal detector now, take off shoes. Because this is what violence is going to happen at. These terrorists, they say allegedly terrorists attacked the airplane through the airplanes, right? So we saw these white dudes attack the Capitol. So we know these domestic terrorists are coming right to the front door. So they should have them. We need to have them,
Right. Safety is non-negotiable. And at the end of the day, things keep evolving. That's what it is. I mean, I remember I was in South Africa. We go to South Africa, everything is fine. On the way back, they're like a shoe bomber happened or somebody brought some lotion or something. And when our trip back, you couldn't bring water on the flight. You couldn't bring lotion on the flight. And literally it wasn't that when we left 2 weeks earlier, it wasn't like that. So things evolve and things change and you have to change with them. I mean, nobody likes taking their shoes off at the airport, but that one man was the shoe bomber. And after that, that's it. I'm going to tell you, I don't care what they make you do. When I get on a plane, I do want to come back off of it. I want it to land. So whatever happens, I have no problem with complying. So if you go into the Capitol and you need to actually, go through metal detectors and to keep you safe, I'm with it.
So somebody just said, somebody just helped out. Said the first offense is 5,000, second offense 15,000.
God, I can't afford the first offense.
That's a lot of bread. Yeah. I wouldn't even be playing with that. I wouldn't even.
Not me either.
I'll tell you the truth, Calvin. You got a point there. Like when I fly, I don't even want to see nobody tying their shoes on the plane. I don't even play that. I be watching people, because the thing is, I'm not gonna lay back and let you just blow me up that easy.
Right.
Right. But you're right. It's because management. It's management by crisis. We have a crisis, and they have to implement new rules, and would be as a result of the crisis.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And that's always going to be.
And now, Colin Kaepernick doesn't look so dangerous.
No. One knee doesn't look too threatening now, right?
What did he say before? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, Yeah. We could have bypassed all of this, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not easy. It would have been, just listen, just open your ears and listen, man. What the brother's trying to tell you, man. He's trying to tell you that the situation's going on, that there's another point of view, that, there are other actors in this world, in this country, who count, who matter, and just listen. Otherwise, this is what we get, man. This is what we get. Everybody storming the gate. The whole world's about to turn upside down. We look like I'm not gonna say the word. We look like a joke, man.
See, the problem is the problem with America is this to me. America is so based on false principles. So if you just say, look, it's a capitalistic society, only the strong survive, and that's what it is. But no, we want to paint this picture of picket fences and baseball and apple pie and all these different things and being the world's police. We always want to get that depiction, and the depiction is not true, and that's the reality of it.
Right, but that's the thing. We can never say that. We always have to pretend, because remember, America goes around all over the world finding, and they find the population that is disaffected, give them support, and then overturn government. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you can't turn around and say, "Oh, this is a dog-eat-dog society," whatever. Tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? They're like, because then that's like you have to tell them, "Oh, this is the American franchise, and this is what things are, and we have freedom, and we have democracy, and we have equality, and all that, and it's great things to it's great to support, and I believe them, but then you gotta believe it, you gotta act like it, man, when you're here, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, we just as dirty as I ain't gonna say we, that ain't me, I ain't got nothing to do with it, but they're just country's just as dirty as any other, man. We just a little bit more savvy with the presentation. That's the difference,
Right. So eventually it comes to an end.
So all right. So we got everybody gonna be on P's and Q's on their P's and Q's right now because of what's gonna be talking about attacks at the Capitol. I grew up with the mayor in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and I just forgot about this. And when he became mayor, they wrote, "We don't want a nigga mayor." So we can imagine what's about to happen. Oh well, you know, this is like I think somebody said earlier in the text on the chat that this is just a glimpse of what's the things to come. So, you know, anybody have thoughts on that?
Yeah, somebody told me today, they were like, you know, you got to be careful on the 20th because Trump supporters are going to be attacking people. And I just think that's going to be a career decision because, I mean, literally after everything that we have been through, so somebody's talking about attacking you because they don't like the results of an election.
Attacking me?
It's absolutely absurd. Right. That's what I'm saying. So,
all right, look with that.
You know, right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's a real serious accusation or threat to make to people. And I just think it's ridiculous. And it just shows a lot. And we always talk about how people can be radicalized and blow up buildings or take planes and hijack them. It's no different. It's no different. We're seeing it right here in our own borders.
Yeah. They just caught somebody by the Capitol building with a couple of guns and stuff. Just recently, I think it was just yesterday.
Yeah, he had 500 rounds.
500 rounds. Yeah,
500 rounds.
You know?
And we needed that. We needed, you know what? We actually needed this. We needed for people to be able to see it, especially right here in this country. We needed for people to be able to see it. In other words, this is a true reflection. You can hold the mirror up against yourself all over the world. Like people say, America don't have beef with nobody who don't have oil. It's everything just seems to be so calculated. And so right now we got things to clean up in our own house. And it needs to get straightened out. And that's the reality of it. And that's why I give credit to whoever is advising Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, because I haven't heard a word. They are handling this so seamlessly. They're not getting caught up in the fray. And as soon as they're sworn in, it's going to change immediately how they go and start to resurrect the country.
And they're just trying to make America look back like it used to, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? Right now they just got to clean up the image. They got a lot of work to do just to clean up the image. The number one thing is just to project stability. You know what I mean? Like regardless to what you believe, what your political leanings are, how you feel about them, how you feel about Kamala, how you feel about Joe. At this point, we just need stability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we had a lot of deep talk, but now we're gonna go into commercial first. Before we go into commercial, though, you know, Let's Chop It Up was based on like a barbershop type of thing, right? And every barbershop, one thing we all talk about is hip hop.
Yeah,
old school, new school, whatever you want to call it, classic, from the videos of everything. So tonight's show, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We went real heavy and deep early, but we got some fun. Right after this commercial, we're gonna bring in the hip hop. So Jamie, bring us the commercial, brother.
Hennessy cake.
Hennessy cake.
Hey, you got the white guy have a white Hennessy cake. Can't be
Yeah, I think that's gotta be dangerous.
Can't be racist. Can't be racist.
Yeah.
So listen, we have some special guests coming in today. We got quite a few guests tonight. But our first guest is our brother. He's been on the show before. He's a very intelligent man. He talks about leadership. He has his books he's gonna promote and all that stuff like that. But I love this guy's opinion when we talk about hip hop. We've been talking about hip hop, me and this dude, man, for at least over 2 decades now. So with further ado, producer Jamie, can you bring up my man Anton Gunn?
Anton,
fellas, how y'all doing?
What's up, brother? What's up, man? How you feeling, man?
Bang.
How about you?
Everything's everything, man. Everything is everything, man. Anton, thank you for coming back, man. To catch up, what's going on with you in life right now, man? In the 2021.
All is good. 2021, man. Business is good, man. I'm, doing a lot of consulting with a lot of organizations who are really trying to figure out how to build a better culture. Now that diversity has to be a conversation in every boardroom, every corporate room right now. So I'm just trying to help them to figure out how to build a better culture so that every employee, Black, white, Latino, old, young, gay, straight, that they feel like they're valued at work and that they deliver for the company. So business is up. I've been doing some work with companies like T-Mobile and Tanger Outlet Malls and Mercedes-Benz vans. So I'm starting off a good year with a bang, but hoping to make it the best year ever and really try to make a difference. My goal is to help 1,000 senior executives be better leaders for 100,000 people that they lead. And so I'm really focused on the mission, man, to try to impact 1,000 leaders so they can disproportionately impact more.
Wow. That's what's up, man. We need you in some of these nonprofits up here in New York, man. You need some better leadership. But it's another
I used to be a CEO of a nonprofit for 7 years. Most people don't know that, and it's hard. Most CEOs so focused on chasing the money to get the money in the door that they forget about taking care of the people that work in the organization.
Correct.
And that's one of the reasons why I had to get out of it, because it was, it's hard to develop people when you got to chase donors and get grant money in and go talk to this foundation and beg these other folks rather than just focusing on the mission. So I definitely know it's hard work, and I'm happy to help. Anybody reach out, go to AntonGunn.com. I'd be happy to help you and your organization get to a better place where you can live your mission.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I love you, Anton. Motherfucker got a big ass Kool-Aid smile. Always had that damn Kool-Aid smile, man. Kool-Aid smile with a big ass fro back in the day, man.
Yes, Red Man style,
Red Man. That's why I used to call you Red Man. Word. So we got Anton. We got another younger brother though. I'm gonna bring on, man. This brother's really intelligent when it comes to hip hop and just life in general. He's one of the leading brother I do with a lot of anti-racism stuff with this brother, man. But we talk about hip hop all the time. He has a forum that he goes on Instagram. He'll tell everybody about it. Jamie, can you bring in my man Damien, please?
Damien, how you doing, brother?
Yo, we can't hear you, D. He's on mute, Sam.
He's on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. How y'all doing? How y'all doing tonight?
Good, brother.
How you doing, brother?
Welcome.
I'm all right. I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity of being on the show. All of y'all support in different ways. So just working with y'all just is always a pleasure. And I've been listening. Y'all going in.
And Damien, I just want before we get started on hip hop, tell people about the stuff you do with mentoring and stuff like that with young people.
So currently in my organization, I'm the coordinator of mentor services and resource development. So I'm literally building a mentoring program for young people. And I'm really trying to develop what I call a mentoring community, where it's not just one person charged to like support one person. We have a community of people. You know how Jay-Z said, what's better than one millionaire? 2? I would say what's better than one mentor? 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? Like, so you have a community of people you can reach out to when you need that type of support, because not everybody can solve every problem. But if you know how to do the technical thing, you know how to do a law thing, you know how to do medical, you have people that you can reach out to solve a plethora of issues that come up with everybody. It's not just young people, but right now our focus is on young people and helping them access like a community and a support system that can help them through their development, so we can grow some strong brothers and sisters.
That's what's up.
Yo, Damien, I was very impressed with that. You said plethora. That's deep. That's deep. Yeah. The last person I heard use that word was Walt Clyde Frazier in an interview.
You know what's funny?
I had to look it up. That's when I learned. I said, I gotta look that word up.
You know what's funny? a good friend of me and Damon's, he used it a lot. He also works with us, Roland Knight. He's a hip hop artist, and he uses that word in conversation. He's just like, it's a plethora, and we would just laugh because he would throw it out there just because.
Nah, I like it, kid. I like that. I'm gonna start using it more. I'm gonna use it on my wife as soon as we get off the show.
Baby, give me some plethora. I want some.
Yo, I got a whole lot of plethora for you. Yeah, I got a plethora for you later on.
Damien, let me ask you a question. How much of the mentorship is required, like in terms of like how much support do you give them in terms of like say emotional support for young men? You know what I'm saying? How much is needed for that? Man,
I always say, and I had to redefine like even the mission statement. I call it the ever-changing needs because young people day to day, everybody's going through different things. So I call it ever-changing needs, but it all depends on how much they need. If they need a one-to-one, if they need small group, like peer accountability and stuff like that, we try to set that up in different ways. We also have activities. There's a young man right now I'm hoping to get connected, and maybe if I say it, it'll happen. You know how to say manifestation and things, but with a guy who does videography for like PBS because he wants to learn film and photography and stuff like that, and he might be able to shadow him. Hopefully, we can set it up in a safe way. And it's like this is what somebody's going to school for, and if we could set him up with somebody who can like guide him and give him access and potentially even experience in a company like PVS, when he graduates school, there may be a job there, and he at least might get a recommendation. So it's really about one, you want to be around strong, let's say people, not just black men, or women, but people that you can grow and be around an environment of like maturity. So you're not surrounded by like, social media and let's say certain type of things that we see on reality TV. That's what your environment is. You're surrounded by mature adults who can be themselves and allow you to be yourself. So it's a balance of like whatever they need. So if there's some people who need people to talk to, we try to find access so they can talk to. If there's somebody who's like, I really just need a job, or I need an opportunity, or I want to learn more about this, we try to bring those opportunities to them or point them in a direction where they may be able to get access to it.
Yeah, so this is good that we got y'all both on it because I want you and Anton, y'all need to probably like connect offline or something like that because you're both. Anton's a really dope, dynamic brother, nationwide dude, man.
I was listening to what he was saying. I was like, man, that's a great number that you threw out there. I was like, woo.
Yeah, so let's get on this hip hop thing, man. So I'm not the only one. Y'all hear me on the feedback? I'm getting feedback on my headset. I'm sorry,
but
good. All right, so we're gonna start with this top 10 list. Me and Anton go at it sometimes. And Damien too. Me and Damien go at it. I go at Damien like every week. I watch his show every week, and we're gonna talk about his show before he gets off air. But let's start with the top 10 MCs of all time. Anton, you go first.
So before I tell you my first one, let me preface my mindset. Okay, I'm partial to battle rappers. So, when you get into a fisticuffs, I'm gonna use that term again. You get into a fisticuffs with somebody on a microphone, it's all about how complex, witty, diverse, how you can be on it all the time. And so you will see that my list is peppered with people that if you put them in a battle against any other MC, 9 times out of 10, they're going to come out on top because of how they rhyme. So that's where it starts, but it's not only battle rappers on my list. I'm really into complex rhyming skills, inside rhymes, people who got the craft mastered. And so I'm happy to get started and go with my number 10.
Let's hear it, brother. We waiting for it.
So number 10, I got to go to Staten Island on this one, and that is Ghostface Killah. Now, I'll tell you 2 reasons why he is on that list in my number 10. He is the most prolific MC in the Wu-Tang Clan, period, bar none. 13 solo albums, and like another 8 collab albums, if you will, with other people. Ghostface is a storyteller like Slick Rick. He's a battle rapper. It doesn't matter the beat. It doesn't matter the sound. He can put it together. Now, I'm going to give you 2 songs that if you really want to understand the greatness of Ghost, that you can just go and listen to these 2 songs. Song number 1 is with De La Soul on their Grind Date album, the song is called He Comes. He throws some bars on there that is sick with it, especially when he's talking about Saddam Hussein's sons. Most people didn't even pick it up who he was talking about. The second one, as I'll just give you the whole album, Ghost Dini, the Wizard of Poetry from Emerald City. Most people ain't even listened to that album, but Ghost is prolific with it, and I just think he deserves that top 10 status because Wu could be the greatest group of all time. We know Inspector Deck gives the hottest 16, but nobody has done as many albums as Ghost with different MCs. He's done it with everybody, so that's why he's my number 10.
Okay, Damien, you're 10. I give you the Ghost. Ghost is in my book. He's right under my 10 though. He's right under. He might be my like 11 or 12. Well, go ahead, Damien.
I'm gonna try to keep it short. I don't necessarily have a 10 in order outside of maybe my top 2, 3, but I can't even remember what I told you. I think I put Kane as number 10. Big Daddy Kane is my number 10. I actually believe Big Daddy Kane might have been the best all-around rapper from that era. Better than Rakim. That's an argument. I know people will shoot you in the street.
I'm with you.
For what he was able to do and his styles and his ability to flow and how many people he influenced, as soon as you hit like 92, if you don't hear Big Daddy Kane in almost every rapper, I don't know. But he's on my top 10 just having great music. His ability even this day. I think he was on Instagram Live maybe a month ago or something like that, a couple months ago. DeMar he did his whole set flawlessly. I'm like, there's a level of skill and talent that you can't deny,
Facts.
Number 9. Let's go number 9. Then I'm gonna let everybody chime in. I hope you guys are writing down what they're saying. Number 9. What you got?
My number 9. My number 9 is Common pre-Erykah Badu.
I don't know what kind of box Erykah Badu has, but she
kills him.
It put spells on dudes.
Yeah. I know. She's selling incense and candles and shit. And that shit is, and people are buying it. Something in that shit. I don't want that shit is crack. That shit is crack.
Yeah. Yo, the thing is, what's the guy's name? Andre 2000.
3000.
Yeah, Andre 3000. He got that. She's the reason he dressed like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be clear, what I said about the cats is wrong though. That's how I just want to make sure. Okay, I got you.
Just checking, right?
Damien, you're number 9. This is what you got for your 9. Man.
This one might be a little controversial, but I put Styles P in my top 10. He's one of my favorite hardcore lyricists, but he's great at what he does. But if you listen to what he raps and talks about, he's no slouch. Everybody respects him. Also, he had this line in a freestyle on Flex that I was like, I never heard somebody just turn a phrase and catch me off guard like that. It was one of those like, did he just wait? Y'all just heard that? It was one of those moments. He said, I got a lot of spirit in me. Check the next sentence. You got more than 5 senses. You could hear it in me. And I was like, good mother God. No. Did he just write that? And I write. So now I look at somebody else write something. And I'm like, well, I don't write like that. You know? But he has a lot of great music.
Tupac can never be in my list. Because he can't write that. Never be in 20, 25, 35.
You're going to have to defend that to the black community, D. You are.
I'm not going to. This is why I said, because I need rappers to make me want to rewind the song. Like when I had back in the day, you got to go. That's what. If you don't make me do that, you got to get out of here. Because I could write. I literally could write and connect the words, but you don't have nothing to make me like, oh shit, did you hear that?
D, you're 100% right. Yeah, you're 100% right.
You up like you back me up, D. I'm on. He's not in my 10. He can't be in my 10.
He can't be 20, 25, 30.
That's when you get us in trouble, D, when you go down the whole list and he can't be 20.
Bro, I got 20 right now. Easy, I wrote down. He's not on that
list. Out the list.
He's not on that list. He's not on the
laundry list.
No.
Let me just say this. Everybody from the West Coast, don't do anything for me. That's all I'm saying. Don't do anything for me. That's all.
So if y'all take y'all show on the road, y'all gonna avoid
right, exactly.
He ain't even my top 5 West Coast MC.
Exactly. Not even my top 5 West Coast MC. Word up.
There's people on the West Coast that don't think Tupac is in the top 10. Most people's top 10.
He's not.
There were a lot of people on the West Coast.
He shot some cops.
Yeah,
he got around,
and he lived to tell it too.
He lived to tell. He went to jail. He did some movies. He's a handsome dude. And that's about it.
Listen,
that's about it.
Let me just say this, right? People may disagree. I've had this conversation before, but to me, Tupac didn't really blow up until he got with Death Row and got with Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, that movement helped carry Tupac, in my opinion. He wasn't carrying it on his own. These guys we talking about, they was carrying it on their own. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, too, D has a valid point. That's the way I see it too. Remember, when we were young, we'd be in the car and a record come out, you're playing it in the car, and he say something so insane, you'd be like, rewind that. Did you hear what he said? If you can make me do that, you are hot. You are hot. And Tupac never made me do that.
Yeah, in my show, we talked about him, and I would say Tupac, he made some of the greatest hip hop songs, like Dear Mama, Never Call You Bitch, songs like that. If you did the top 100 songs in hip hop, he might have 7 or 8 songs on that list. Yeah. But if you do the top 1,000, he only got those 7 or 8, and then he disappears. Wow. You know, so it's like that. Yeah. But
so what number are we up to now? 8? Anton's 8. 8. Who's in the 8?
We had 8. Number 8 is Black Thought for me. Yeah. I mean, and I can just tell you, Funk
He can hang with anybody.
9 minutes and 47 seconds. 9 minutes and 47 seconds nonstop. That's what
best freestyle heard ever.
Yes.
The best. Period. You Black Thought. Damien.
Yeah, I forgot No, he should have been up there. I didn't put him in my top 10, but he should be. Slick Rick. I still don't know anybody who could tell stories better than Slick Rick, and his flow is still one of the top 5 flows in hip hop history. Yeah. Like he could just give him a subject, he just start rapping. It sounds like he's talking to you, but it's so slick, so smooth. His delivery is still impeccable.
And his voice, he got his voice.
Yeah. He has a
And we got a funny comment. We got one funny comment about Tupac. Brad said, I got Tupac right behind MC Snow. Informant.
Oh my God.
That's why I laughed. That kind of made me chuckle a little bit, man. Smile.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, I forgot about Snow, man. I forgot about Snow. That's funny though. Yeah. All right. What's your 7, Anton? Who's number 7?
Big Pun.
Yeah,
Big Pun is on my list at number 7. Just his ability. I mean, he's the one that you got to rewind all of the time.
Yeah.
You got to rewind him all of the time.
Anton, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
A lot of people I talked to, they said they never even heard the song. But Big Pun's favorite song to me was Rib Tips and Grape Soda. You remember that song? Yeah, I'm serious. I just, because the thing is, like, I mean, when I was young back then, I could relate to what he was saying about standing on the corner eating those rib tips and grape soda. You know, I don't know, but you're right. You have to rewind a lot for Big Pun.
I mean, it's sad that his life got cut short.
And it was short. One album. One album.
I mean, like whatever he touched, like Fire Water. I mean,
man,
he was incredible. Incredible.
Damien, what do you think about Pun, or you want to say your 7? It's up to you, man. You
Pun is great. I didn't have him in my top 10, but I think he had some of the highest potential of any lyricist. Yeah. And him, a few others like Big L, a few were cut short that we would have a completely different hip hop scene and history if a few of these people weren't taken from us, or they didn't lose their lives. I believe my number 7. What was my number 7? It was Redman. Yeah. I think Redman is the probably top 5 most underrated rappers. He is the person Eminem said his inspiration is from. So if you love Eminem and you don't like Redman, I think there's a problem in that. Redman has some of the greatest music, entertaining. I think he dropped a song "Slap the Shit Out You" like a couple months ago, and I sent that song around to so many people.
That shit was hilarious.
It was so fun, and the video, oh my God! But it's just I feel like he brings a level of fun and energy that he never left and lost. He could tell stories too. Like the Superman Lover series is probably the best series in hip hop. It has so many tracks and they're all great. And I might get some hate for this, but I think he kept Method Man career from disappearing.
He did.
I think he
I
did.
agree.
My opinion.
I agree.
And Method Man is a legend. So if you could keep a legend alive, you gotta at least be a legend.
Listen, Redman's so good that they done made him a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, how many people get to do that? Okay?
Right, they did.
Yeah, Anton, you're number 6. Number 6, what you got for us?
Cool G Rap.
Yes.
All right.
Cool G Rap. Cool G Rap. I mean, listen, I listened to Men at Work just yesterday. Okay. And I want you to understand something that I learned watching TL Cross on Instagram. When they did the symphony, G-Rap was going so hard that they made him stop rhyming.
Yeah.
He put the rest of the rhyme on the Men at Work. So the whole first verse of Men at Work is a continuation of his flow from the symphony track.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And then don't get me started on him and Kane's demo tape when they was both rapping over Raw. I mean, that's ridiculous. Cool G-Rap is none better, man. None better than G-Rap.
Oh, you youngins that see this, you gotta, if you want to talk about hip hop, you better go look at old Cool G-Rap stuff. Cool G-Rap is your favorite rapper's rapper.
Yes.
Is the best. He's one of the, he's always in the top 5 or 6 for me too. Who's your 6, Damien?
I believe my 6 is Scarface. I think he's also another very underrated rapper. His ability to just, I think his conviction and honesty and realism. Like, he talks some horror stuff and things like that, but his album, what's the name of that album? It got 5 mics in the Source. It came out maybe 2000. That is one of the greatest albums I ever heard in my life. The Payback, I think that might have been one of the songs.
Might have been Mr. Scarface.
No.
That was before that, I think.
No, it was after Mr. Scarface. I'm gonna look it up. Give me like 1 minute. It had the song with Jay-Z and them, Guess Who's Back. But that album to me is one of the most impeccable albums I've ever heard, and it's very underrated. But it did get the 5 mics. I think it's The Fix. That's what it's called, The Fix. If you ever want to hear Scarface after he blew up, if you go listen to The Fix, you will get, I think, what you would want from any hip hop artist from any time frame. So he's up there. He's always been great to me.
All right, so we got number 5.
We're down to the 5. We're down to the top 5.
Okay, so before I share, I want you to understand.
Okay, you got to explain this.
People are going to hate on this one.
Yeah.
But here's what I want you to understand. If you listen to his last album that came out this year, Music to Be Murdered By, he solidifies his top 5 spot for me with this album. I'm not an Eminem fan. Let me be clear. I don't buy all his albums. I think I bought the first one, but that was about it. He makes a lot of radio records. Dre kind of played him up to be this kind of cat. But I'm just talking about sheer battle rapping alone, sheer skills of how he pays homage to AZ, how he pays homage to Nas, how he pays homage to G-Rap, how he pays homage to Redman inside his lyrics. This man knows his craft. He knows his hip hop, and he respects the game of the music. And he's just done it so well as a lyricist that I had to put him and give him that spot.
Okay.
All right.
I agree with that. That's a good point.
Damien.
I respect all the points. He just can't be in my top 5. This is not number 5 even top 5 all time, but he's in my top 10, J. Cole. I look at the new rappers and I'm like, which one of them actually makes music that lasts more than 3 weeks? And I'm like, a lot of music nowadays, after the single or the video or the crave or the dance or the challenge disappears, you don't care about them songs no more. I feel like he's been one of the most consistent, but also I feel like his albums have had more substance. Him and Kendrick have had the most substance in their albums in the last decade. I'm a bigger fan of J. Cole than I am Kendrick, but they're both like 2 of the artists that will be up there. So I will put him up there, and I would recommend a few songs and albums from him as well if you ever want to really sink your teeth into his mixtapes.
I have J. Cole in my car playlist. That's real talk. That's how J. Cole was really. I got one of the young cats that I give props to. Yeah, but real quick with Eminem. Eminem, like Snoop Dogg went at him, and I said Eminem really never made music for black folks, Latin folks. Never. I mean,
I agree.
A lot of crossover stuff.
Yeah, but I can understand that, but I see a whole lot of artists trying to emulate the financial success by not necessarily making music for black folks. Because
I get it.
You know,
I get it.
So, and I accept their argument, but I would just say this last album, after Snoop came at him about that, this last album is literally what he did is to prove that he can make music for black folks. And again, if you haven't heard it, I just say give it one run. I mean, I had to rewind one song about 6 times because he did a line about Mike Pence that it was so twisted. I had to rewind it at least 6 times to make sure I got the whole thing. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
so give it a run.
Eminem is dope. He's phenomenal. Like one of the best freestyles on the BET stuff and all that stuff. Eminem, nope. You got to be lying to say this motherfucker can't rhyme. You have to be. You just got to be a straight mess. Go ahead.
Can I ask? Have y'all heard Busta Rhymes' last album? Is it better than Busta Rhymes' last album?
So I would put them like par 1 and 2. I mean, it's really good. I'm serious. I mean, it's a double album at that. And again, I don't listen to Eminem, but I listened to this one from the first track all the way to the last track. In the first 7 songs, I had to stop and play them back over again before I went through the rest of the album. It was that strong.
Wow, that's good because
so
Busta's
it grabbed your attention.
Crazy.
Busta Rhymes album is fire. I would say that's the best hip hop album of the year right now.
That's what my thought was.
And hands down, best hip hop album. All right, do we on the number 5? Is Damien's turn? 4? No, Damien. 4. Oh, yeah, 4. Yeah.
So my 4 is Big Daddy Kane. You don't have a Jay-Z in hip hop if you don't have Big Daddy Kane. I mean, Big Daddy Kane put Jay-Z into the music industry fully. I mean, he got his start with jazz, but Big Daddy Kane took Jay on tour with him and showed him the game the way Jay elevated the game. So you can't be a fan of Jay-Z if you're not a fan of Big Daddy Kane, and that's why he's my number 4.
I'm with it. I can't disagree with that at all. Mine is Andre 3000. And this is a difficult place to put him in. Like that's why I say I don't have a top 5 like that in number.
You're gonna take a hit. You're gonna take a hit.
I hear you, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
How did
so
he make the top
you say
4?
it? See, that's the thing. He may not be number 4. That's why I was saying my list isn't in order outside of maybe my top 3. But Andre 3000 to me,
he shouldn't be top 20.
He never made a solo album.
Correct. He's a part of a group. He's part of a group.
All right, y'all gotta let the brother make the point.
That's an argument. I cannot refute anything you just said. I cannot. What I say about him is he has never dropped anything near a whack verse, which anybody in the top 10 you can say that about. He has some of the most creative and interesting lyrics and ability to attack ideas and angles that I've probably, and one of the other people in my top 3, I would say is the other person who does that just as well. And there's only a few people I think in hip hop that can just rap about random, simple, everyday stuff and make it sound so interesting and crazy. And like, he is one of, to me, like, he's like a poet in rap. And there's not a many of them. Kendrick, I think, is like that. I think a few other people are like that. But let's say he's not number 4 if I was to make my personal favorite list, but he's on that 10 list. And now the 3 that I'm about to give you, that's my 3. That's 1, 2, 3.
All right. So since we're at 3, Anton, he's shaking his head. This is gonna be a further discussion on another date, man. We may have
this is where it's gonna get.
Anton might have to come on your show, Damien.
We'll have him because I'm waiting for him to defend this Eminem top 5 over some of the other people he named. And I was like, wait, you put.
I did. And that's a new addition. Like I said, before I listened to this last album, he wouldn't have been in that spot. But after listening to that last album, man, I'm telling y'all to give it a run.
I'm gonna give it a run.
It's ridiculous. Okay.
And I respect that because I almost put Busta in the top 10 because of that last album he dropped. So I can't be mad at you.
Correct. All right. My number 3, the Blast Master, KRS-One.
Okay.
Number 3.
Can't argue.
And he's got 16 albums, 16 solo albums. That's not counting his 5 BDP albums. So he got 21 albums in the game. I actually had the opportunity to go in studio with Chris when he came on tour. He did an event in Columbia, South Carolina, free hip hop festival in Columbia, and needed a studio. We got him connected to the Boom Boom Room. He went in there and banged out an album on the road. Okay. And you just can't get no more essence of hip hop from an MC than KRS-One on the stage, in the music, at all. So in my mind, he's my top 3. And he's the one that made me want to educate myself about Black culture, about Black nationalism, understanding where I come from and my role in society as a Black man. So I got to give Chris that respect.
Yeah, you got to.
Yep.
I respect that. That's great. I was gonna say over Kane, but then I was like, you know what? Let me start the argument. My number 3 is Big. I don't think there is a more talented rapper in all of history than Biggie. I don't know anybody who could do everything as well as he could. And he might have dropped the greatest double album, a damn near perfect double album. And I don't know anybody who's dropped a double album that's even close to his. I've not heard the Eminem one, so I might change my mind. But his ability to rap, people might, his content and stuff like that is not their cup of tea. But I see the Biggie in your background, and like honestly, I don't think there was a more talented rapper overall than Biggie, and the music speaks for itself, and the poster speaks for it.
All right, bro. I got the poster of Biggie. Word up. Go ahead, Anton. Right, Anton's shaking his head. Anton, 2 seconds.
So I think Biggie's too low. I think
10 seconds
Biggie's too low on it.
I love Big. He's in my number 11 on my list. He's right outside of my top 10. He's in my number 11.
M is 5. He is 11.
Yes.
Wow.
Listen,
getting emails.
New York bias. Okay. All of y'all need to check your New York bias. Okay. Check your New York bias.
You hit us with the T.I.
Anton, you had me up until then. See, Anton's number 11.
Anton's from Virginia, so he's gonna have Missy Elliott as number 1.
First, the Fat Boys break up.
Mad
Skill still spit fire. He did a nice little 2020 tribute thing. Was dope. Mad Skills.
So Rodney, are you a little bit more offended by my having Andre 3000 on my list, or him having him at 5 and Biggie at 11?
No, to be honest with you, you're right. We have to talk about this, Anton. Like, you're saying Biggie is not in the top 10.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a barbershop conversation for real, right here.
I'm gonna let you guys finish, and we gotta go. We gotta revisit that. We have to revisit.
Yeah. We got come on. Let's go. Number two.
You gotta get. You gotta.
Damien. Damien gets 3 off. Did Damien get? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, my 3 was Big. I might have did mine first.
Yeah.
I was too hype.
My number 2 is Olu's son, Nasir Jones.
Okay.
That's my number 2.
Yep. That's number 2. I'll give you that.
I ain't gotta say much.
That's it. He had the most classic album of all time.
Nobody's gonna argue. Nobody's gonna argue Nas. Nobody's gonna argue.
Because his music still. I was watching.
Uh-oh.
But I'm not.
He done did it now. He done did it now.
I'm good. Nah, y'all got it. I'm just talking. But I would argue it on my show, but not on this one.
Somebody said
Magoo is number 1.
Magoo is number 1.
So let me tell you how this.
Magoo is fire.
Let me tell you about this. In 7th grade, I battled Magoo in the 7th grade hallway bathroom in a B-box contest. We went to junior high school.
That's fine.
He cooked you? Did he cook you though? That's what we need to know.
Yeah, who won the battle?
He couldn't be.
Who won the battle?
I
Okay.
did.
Okay. Oh man!
Now y'all gotta ask Magoo. Magoo gonna be like, man, I cooked him. So my number 2 is also one of my personal favorites. So this is more of a personal decision. I choose Lupe Fiasco as my number 2.
Okay.
God.
I don't know if I put him better than Big, but they're close to me because I believe he's probably the most creative hip hop artist in the last 2 decades, and I still put him above like a Kendrick. And some of his content is some of the best and most educational that I've had. Like KRS-One he talks on things on an even deeper level, and he just has some music that I feel like is too good to just be like, wait, I didn't expect people think on this level to be able to also rap and rhyme on this level too. And his ability to do all the different things that Anton was talking about, internal rhymes, external, double, triple entendres in the same two couplets is ridiculous. I promise you would. Yeah, we did hear Guru. I see somebody in the chat mention Guru, and I'm like, yeah, Guru is great. But yeah, that's Lupe Fiasco is my number 2, and I think that's more of a personal choice. Not many people are going to agree on that, but in terms of lyricists, he might be in my top 4 lyricists of all time. And some of his albums are some of my favorite albums because of his content.
Yeah, Lupe is great. He's really good, but nobody got him in their top 10.
No,
right.
Not even in the top 67. He's not even in the top 67. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Yo, I'm going hard, man. Nah, man.
67?
I'm getting offended. I'm getting offended here.
Hey, we gotta get to the next segment. So, who's number 1? And Anton's, who's your number 1, Anton?
Rakim.
Yeah, now you're talking. Now I'm back on your team.
Now we're talking MC. Now
you're talking about the God.
He is the alpha and the omega. Period.
Rakim made everybody change the way they rhymed. Period.
Yes.
Once you heard Rakim's first record, it changed the game. It put everybody under pressure. We can't just say cat, scat, rat no more. Rakim just changed it. He just changed it.
Rakim is the MC that made you stop and go to the speaker in the first place.
Exactly.
Before that, there was none. That dude was like this. What did he say? He's the first rapper that really made you start pressing rewind.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The prototype. He was the prototype, bro.
So
unbelievable.
So Damien, for the sake of time, what's your number 1?
Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z is the one who did what Rakim did. He changed the way everybody rhymed after him. So when he came out and he started rhyming the way he was, I'm a Hustler is a Jay-Z line that we done heard 4 billion times since then.
Jay-Z changed his style like 3 or 4 times. Like if you listen to his early stuff, he was like a speed rapper. You know what I mean?
Everybody uses that excuse for some reason.
Because it's true.
You know, multiple people use multiple styles when they rap, but the one that stick, the one that you use more than any other is like your main style. You switch up every time. Like people switch up flows.
The reason they're changing is because it's not working for them.
Oh my God.
Jay ain't in my top 20.
I'll say this. Rakim had a great 5-year run.
I was waiting for him to say that to y'all. I was like, let me stay quiet.
That's Virginia bias.
I was going to type and say, Anton, say that.
So now I got a question. Rakim had a great 5-year run where he was untouchable. And I listened to him in the last decade, and I wasn't impressed in any way. I can't, song for song, I don't think there's anybody that's close to Jay-Z. Song for song over career, I don't think there's anybody close.
I think Jay-Z is probably you could argue that he's the most influential rapper of all.
Correct.
Yeah.
Most successful, one of the most successful.
Certainly the most successful period, hands down. You could definitely, in terms of finances, in terms of carrying the culture forward into the future, you got to mention them in those terms. But it's valid. You know, I would put him on my top 10 for that reason. You know what I mean? But
he's in the top 10. He's in my top 10.
In terms of me,
this is why Jay doesn't go there for me. He rapped about money, hoes, and clothes for too many years when he wasn't doing that. He didn't elevate his content until later in his career. Like 444 is a great album. But I mean, how many years can you rap about money, hoes, and clothes?
Right.
So Eminem didn't rap about random wild stuff for the first 90 years of his career. And did you hear Jay-Z first album when he was rapping on songs like The Evils and songs like second album Lucky Me and Where I'm From? So there's a bunch of content outside of that stigma of him rapping about one thing, about money, hoes, and clothes. Those are singles, just like Big. Just like Mace, you hear them rap about that on the singles to put out to the public, and then you listen to the album and you usually get a different experience. That's my opinion. You know, just saying. But Eminem was rapping about beating up Katy Perry and Jessica Simpson and who else? You know, for like a decade.
You know, you couldn't relate to. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But in his defense, again, if you're talking about somebody who carried it forward and let a whole bunch of cats after him eat, you got to mention him. You know what I mean? And you got to mention Jay and those kind of guys. And I understand that. You know what I mean? So
my last thing I want to say is I just wonder what Jay-Z would be if Biggie was alive, though. It had 2 more albums.
I think
Jay-Z admitted Big made him step his game up. Jay-Z admitted that. He said, Big made me step my game up.
Yeah.
He said, especially after Who Shot You. After he dropped Who Shot You, he said, I had to.
Yeah, Big opened.
He dropped up the tape to. He said, hold that. He said, hold that, and drove off.
So that's right. Couldn't get Biggie no more. He definitely widened the lane for Jay a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were supposed to combine, right? They were supposed to make the commission, and they was going to start their own label and do their own thing, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they'd have been standing next to each other. Maybe Biggie's the better rapper, but they probably would have ran, you know, the game together for a decade or two. So
because New York rappers suck now, but you know we got some guys that's coming up. Like New York rappers is trash. I'm serious. Like we got what's my man Dave?
6ix9ine, man. Come on, man.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Killing us. You killing
Oh my god.
I'm joking.
That is the biggest. That's the biggest diss to New York. Joey Badass is pretty good.
Joey Badass
is nice. Yeah. There's a few others.
Yeah. And whatchamacallit passed away from COVID. What's my brother's name? The big dude.
Fred the Godson.
Fred the Godson.
Yeah. There's a few.
There's
a few.
So guys,
now let me just ask this last thing, D. Why nobody ever give LL a shot? Y'all do LL wrong.
He's on my list.
He will battle anybody, and he don't care who you tell.
He'll lose though.
LL's on my top 10. LL's on my top 10.
Can you defend He?
Do not sleep on
defend that.
I can't defend
He. You can't.
Blow tissues.
It hurt when y'all say it.
But LL, he tried to battle a few times. Like he tried to battle X, he tried to battle J, and it just didn't
All
work
right, let me
out.
just ask this question. Chuck D said that LL was hip hop's first superstar.
He was. Hands down. And that we always around when that was going on. You know how it was.
He said Curtis Blow was hip hop's first star.
Right.
LL was the first superstar.
That's why you got to mention LL, man, and that's why.
Guys, before we
listen, G, Skeevy, delicious. Shout out to Alyssa.
Shout out. Word up. So listen, before we go, guys, I want you guys anything you have coming up and that we want to promote, please let us know. Anton, you get the first shot since you're the older gentleman out of the two.
Yeah, so I'm working on a new book. It won't be out for another year or so, but when I turn 50 in 2023, I'm doing a rap album. So I'm putting out an album for my 50th birthday.
Say words. You serious?
Serious.
Yo.
Yeah.
I better get 16 on it, man.
You better come ready because I'm bringing the band back together from back in the day. You better come ready.
You know you got to get on that. You got to get on. You remember Spec from college?
Yeah. What's Spec at now?
He's in Charleston. Spec still spin 5 best freestyles ever known. As Spec was remember because he sounded like Magoo. He could never get a deal because he sounded like Magoo because he had the same voice. But word up, ask Lord Finesse and Bismarck said when he was in one time in Queens in the club, he told all them people there, you better not mess with the country dude with the overalls. He'll kill you all. He's the nicest dude out. But anyhow, Damien, what you got promoting, brother?
I mean, if y'all want to read my book, Learning to Quote Myself, is on my website, DamienTillman.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse at DamienTillman9. This is my logo right here. There's shirts and things like that. I am currently working on building up the show that I have called The Framework, where we actually take these type of top 5 barbershop discussions, but we create a framework to have the conversation and a system in which we could have these debates where we're not just yelling at each other like it does happen in the barbershop, where the loudest person just seems like they're right. No, you have to make your points and things like that. So it's a good show. Damon has been on it. He came at my soul a few times. We had a fun time laughing about it. It's great. But yeah, we've been on a break.
It's really good.
We coming back soon, so I'll definitely shout that information. But if you follow us, follow me, you'll definitely get all the information you need there.
Anton and
all right, bro.
Damien, I want y'all to make me one promise though, that this stays on podcast. All right, I don't want anybody going into the studio after this. Anton, do not go in the studio. Damien, do not go in the studio, because in 2023 when that album come out, Damien, he coming for you. So I'll let you keep it. All right, we're gonna keep it. All right, that's all I'm saying. All right,
the whole album is gonna be an ode to hip hop. I'm just telling my ode to hip hop. Hip hop is my life, and hip hop is who I am. So I just want to celebrate the culture, man, and in the spirit of it, and do something fun. And I'm probably gonna donate all of the money to charity that I make off the album, because I am going to sell it. I'm going to sell the album.
Yeah, please let me know so I can promote it as well. I was going to say, I'll just get Loaded Lux. I'll pay his fee and be like, yo, you got to go get this guy, Anton Gunn. He was talking about me. Battle him real quick on TV. Finish that problem real quick. Get him out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. My brothers, I love you guys, man. Peace, man. Thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you for this. I got to get a t-shirt. I got to get a t-shirt. Please let me know when I can get a t-shirt.
Anton, Damien, text me your address and your size of your shirts and we'll get it to you.
Oh, yeah, and I'll buy one too. I'll buy a second one. So just let me know. I want to support.
That's what's up. But we ain't selling them, man. We giving it out the love, though, man. So
relax, Steve. Relax.
I appreciate it.
Relax, man.
I got you.
Mr. Jamie just buzzed my ear too. He just buzzed my ear. So okay.
Yeah.
All right, brother. We gotta get to our next guest, man. I'm sorry.
All right, have a good one.
All right. Peace. Yeah. Hey, Rob. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all right. that was giving them away. We ain't paying.
Hip hop, like people's list is subjective. This is good, you know what I'm saying? Like the different perspectives of who they see and how people make them feel. That's what it comes down to, what you make you feel and stuff like, and skill set like that.
It's your top 10. It's not anybody else's top 10. It's your top 10.
Very personal thing.
Yeah. So, with that said, like, parts of hip hop always had to play with videos and stuff like that, right? The video era really propelled hip hop to another level, and music and R&B music and all that stuff like that. So, we got a next guest coming on, but I remember, guys, do you ever remember Video Music Box back in the day?
Of course.
Do y'all remember how when that came on? How you make you feel you ran home and everything? You press the record. For you young people, something called the VCR. So you used to press it, record the video, right? And then you played them on Sundays when we couldn't get any black movies and videos back in the day. So with that said, Jamie, can you play a little clip from back in the day so people can refresh their memory of what we about to talk about and who we about to bring on?
Welcome to New York's #1 video show, Video Music Box, from VJ Ralph McDaniels. Of course, putting it down. It's a Friday night street party, and you know how we get down. Bringing you the hottest events around town, and the DeJeon brothers is out at Club Exit tonight, as well as catching up with new recording artists, Emil from the Rockefeller family. Video Music Box, your Uncle Ralph, putting it down. Friday night street party.
Smalls doing his thing in the rap world. That's right, baby. What's up, man? From dance tracks to Video Music Box, I'm back with you, man. What's up?
I mean, I'm just chilling, man. Trying to stay out of trouble. Now, the big question for me to you, Mary, is how have you been able to manage that formula to stay so consistent in the game of R&B?
Well, at first I remember that what people appreciate me for. They appreciate me for being myself, and that's what carries me a long way. And being myself, I'm not, I'm touchable. You can touch me. You can talk to me. You can see me on the street. You can see me shopping. That's just Mary J. Blige.
Now, Destiny's Child has been, how long has it been now? About 2 years or?
The group has been out about 2.5, 3 years. We've been together for 10 years. And just recently we had a change in the group, 2 new members, Farrah and Michelle.
Yeah, of course, there was a lot of discussion about that on radio stations. As a matter of fact, we got a chance to listen to part of it on Hot 97. I believe that you were talking with Angie Martinez, it might have been?
Yeah, a while back.
It was a while back.
Yeah.
So,
remember that.
You remember that? That's my dude right there. I remember that. Yeah. Big kid, Ralph McDaniels. This guy's bringing out, and my man, our guest, Ray DeJeon.
What's up, Ray?
Yo, what's
going
up,
on,
Ray?
y'all?
How you feeling, Ray?
Good.
You good? Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm good, man. Yeah, goddamn. I was looking at the video. I'm like, shit, my hair was black. I was like, yo, is that me? Is that young Ray right there?
Yo, Ray. Hey, brother, you still have hair. My shit is shining on this joint right now.
Yeah.
You looking good.
I was backstage checking out a few people's hairlines. Some of you guys made a very conscious decision to cut it off.
Hey, you make a business decision, man.
You don't want to walk around. You don't want to walk around with the Lou Rawls hairline. You'll never find
a hairline like mine.
I was checking out your guests, man. And first of all, I was falling asleep because I was supposed to go on at 7:50.
Oh man, sorry, Ray.
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I'm old now, so I was checking out your guest, Anton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice? Because like I'm very observant about a lot of things. Did you notice in his background he had the grandma bookcase? Did you see that? And he had the original internet. Y'all didn't see that? No. Now, I don't know if y'all caught it because I'm very observant. When I say the original internet, he had every single version of the encyclopedias in that bookcase.
Wow.
Britannica encyclopedia. That was our internet back in the day.
That was our internet, brother. Word up.
Damn, that's why this dude is smart as hell.
Yo, word up. My parents only go forward to 1979 though. That was it. That was it for me.
Yeah,
so Ray,
Ray,
happy that we have you on the show. But you guys don't understand like how much y'all really meant. Just personally to me, like with bringing videos of hip hop, all of us got a chance to see people that look like us on the screen. Or how you guys, what you took from just the music on the radio, and you propelled us and gave us vision of just having this platform for so many years. Like I went from probably elementary, maybe middle school on to high school to college, following Video Music Box. So Ray, I want to thank you for that, man, and we truly appreciate you for that. You know,
well, I mean, before we go any further, you know, one thing about me is I have to acknowledge other people because we are all made of each other. We're products of each other. You know, we learn from each other. We're influenced by each other. And the gentleman who gave me my start, of course, I got to pay homage to VJ Ralph McDaniels. He is the founder of Video Music Box, which began over 35 years ago. We're working on our 37-year anniversary right now. But I have to take my hat off to Ralph and give him his props. But before I got on his video show, I was on another show. I don't know if you guys remember this, called Dance Tracks USA. This guy named Tony Tillman.
I remember that.
God damn, Ray, brought it back, man.
Yeah, that show was on once a week, but Video Music Box was on 6 days a week.
Yeah,
I kept saying to myself, I got to get on Ralph McDaniel's show. I got to get on that show. Let me get some experience on dance tracks, and I'm gonna keep approaching Ralph. So I kept going down to City Hall in Manhattan, where his office was at, and I kept bugging him. He shot me down like 10, 15 times until one week, it was December in the holiday season, and it was very busy for Video Music Box. They were doing an enormous amount of tapings, and Ralph was like, all right, man, let me give you a shot. And ever since then, man, it's history. And he put me on, see, Video Music Box, every day was a different theme. Mondays was reggae night. Tuesdays was Tasty Tuesdays with the slow videos. So that's where he put me at. He put me with the slow videos because he was like, yeah, you know, you the fly type dude. You like dressing like Puffy and all of them. I'm going to put you on Tuesday night. Then you had Wednesday was neutral. Then you had Nervous Thursdays with Crazy Sam. And Friday and Saturday was any one of us. Tuffy, myself, Skeletor. And it was just a
Skeletor. Wow, bro. Wow.
Yeah, Skeletor was Wendy Williams' assistant.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's good he put you on Tuesday because that's when you light-skinned motherfuckers were popping back then. So, you know,
of course.
Christopher Williams, you know what I'm saying? Y'all curly hair motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Tuesday was the light-skinned brothers nice. So let me ask you a question. So what, like right now, I can't find videos unless I go on YouTube. What do you think changed the industry that made it now so hard? You have to really search, because remember MTV used to be, they show videos, BET used to show videos, now they have all reality shows. What you think made it change from going from music to?
Well, I'll tell you the exact reason why. It's the money. First of all, Okay, everything started to fade away when social media came on the scene. When social media came on the scene and new different types of cameras started coming out. At one point, you know, you had Video Music Box, Ralph McDaniel's doing videos, and you only had about 3 or 4 people that were go-to people to do the videos, but the record labels were spending a lot of money on the videos. They were spending a lot of money, investing a lot of money into the artists. Social media came into play. The money that the record labels were spending, they were starting to cut back because people were starting to develop their own exposure on social media. So that social media was the labels were pulling back the bread and not wanting to spend as much money on the videos anymore. Then you had all these different types of video shows that were coming out. At one point, we were the only ones in the game. And then Dr. Dre and Ed Lover came in with Yo MTV Raps. They kind of emulated our show. But once they found out a way to do it cheaper, you would only see A-list artists with the videos. Everybody else was kind of left out in the cold. They weren't investing. They weren't giving you no upfront money anymore. You were not getting all of that. You had to prove yourself at one point in the industry. Prove yourself, and then we'll assist you and support you in promoting your record. If you're not making a buzz on your own, like Wu-Tang did when they started selling albums out of the trunk and getting that exposure on your own, people are not willing to, they weren't willing to sign you, and they weren't willing to spend a lot of money on the videos. In the beginning, the labels had a lot of bread. They were spending enormous amounts of money on the video. They start cutting back.
That's interesting.
Ray, let me ask you this question. This is something that has bothered me for a while. Years ago, I guess in the early 90s, you could have 20 different artists on the radio. And as of late, it just seems like you have 3 rappers or 4 rappers. It's just not the same. Man, I'm saying these people still have talent. Where did they go? Why is it that it is so rare to have diversity on? You know, I look at female rappers. There's the same 2 now. It used to be 8. It used to be, you know, even with the guys. So why is it, you know, so rare to see a lot of people in the field now?
You mean that the playlist is a lot shorter, you're saying?
It seems like a lot shorter.
Hot 97 belongs to Drake and a few other people.
My point exactly.
So, I mean, in my opinion, again, revenue streams are very limited now. There's very little ways to get money from a sponsor. So when they do the analytics on music, a lot of the radio stations, they have to follow billboards. Billboards is probably the #1, you know, reputable analysis for music. So if the radio station, I mean, they may take it on satellite, on Sirius XM, it's a little different because it's a radio station where you have to subscribe and you got to pay for it. But regular mainstream radio, terrestrial radio, no one subscribes. So if it's not an album, an artist that's really making noise, they're not going to put them in the playlist because it's going to take away from listenership and it's going to take away from the money that radio stations are making. Bottom line, they run those computers. Like, let me tell you something. If a radio jock, if it's outside of Flex, and the only reason why Flex could do it is because Flex has a contract that's airtight. But all these other radio personalities, with the exception of a few, if they put on a song that's not in the playlist, the fines that they get and the possibility or the potential of them getting fired, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Wow.
So they all. I used to think that a radio jock can just put whatever he wants on. It's not even like that. If it's not on the playlist in the computer, I know because I was on Radio 103.9. And during my show, they gave me a flexibility of maybe 7 minutes because I had a new artist spotlight where I can put that in. But then they also had to bring sponsors with the new artist spotlight. But other than that, I had to follow each song that came up on the computer. So right now, it's more about revenue than anything else. If you develop your own situation on social network and you demand a certain amount of followers, then you can start asking for money. So now it's like, show it to me, I'll give it to you. If you don't have it, I'm not giving you nothing.
Yeah, corporate America destroyed it, man. I mean, we have a request line back in the day. You could shout out, play a little song for your girl back in the day. You can't do none of that shit anymore. It took away from the fan. But you had loyal fans when you did stuff like that. People would do that stuff, but they took it away from that, man.
By the way,
yo, Ray, let me ask you a question. Go ahead.
But before you get to that, I want to say this, because I don't want to forget this thought. So Anton was saying that he battled. Who was it that he battled?
Magoo.
So rest in peace to Ecstasy from Houdini. So you guys know that the theme song of Video Music Box is a Houdini song.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
All right. So and Didi, you're not gonna believe this. So back in the days before Houdini came out, I was also a rapper. I lived around the corner from. He lived in White Core Projects, which was right next to Gowanus, and I was in Red Hook. And so we used to do, battles in the park when we used to bring the speakers out there. I used to battle against Ecstasy.
Wow.
He has a twin brother that looks exactly like him.
You like him, yeah, he does.
We used to call him Heckle and Jekyll, both of them. So before I did a career in Elmira Correctional Facility, before I went on vacation there, I was a rapper.
Wow. Yo, Ray, let me ask you a question. I always remember you from doing tons of interviews, right? What was your first interview? I saw you interviewed Beyonce, but besides Beyonce, what was your first interview early in your career that you said, whoa, I got to interview him or her, that made you really, that put you out of place?
Wow.
You knocked you off your feet, in other words.
Stevie Wonder.
Wow. Yeah, that was
dude. Yeah. I was nervous as shit.
Yeah.
Yo, they gave me all these notes. Ralph gave me, he said, yo, when you get there, go to the producer. He's going to give you all the bullet points. Because, a lot of times when we do a press day and Video Music Box was invited, they would give us all these bullet points in the bio and all this stuff about people. But Stevie Wonder, I was so nervous that he saw me being nervous. This nigga was like, I see you shaking. He saw you.
Yo.
I'm like, I'm happy you could have a glimpse.
Yeah.
No, I was.
A lot of people say Stevie can see.
He felt my vibe that I was nervous. He said, "Hey, man, it's all good, man. It's all good. Ask your questions." Him and Beyonce was a rising star at the time.
At the time, yeah.
And I believe there was rumors. Even that's when when I interviewed her, she was doing the hook on Emil's song when Rockefeller signed the first female, Emil.
Okay, yeah, I remember Emil.
Label, and Jay-Z decided that he wanted to make his directorial debut, so he was directing the Emil video, and Beyonce happened to be there to sing the hook on the song.
Okay,
that's why she was there, and I think that is around the time when Jay-Z started smashing.
Whoa.
Damn.
Can't blame him for that, right? Can't blame him for that.
Wow.
And so I think and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's long.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, are you amazed at some of them how the careers went? I mean, the people that you just showed, forget it. I mean, they've put together over 20 years now.
Yeah, you know what's so cool about it? Especially one person that I really respect a lot, even though he's very egotistical, and being on Video Music Box, you get to be backstage, you get to be up close and personal, you get to hang out, you go to cities, you go to the after parties, and you mingle. So I got to mingle on a personal level with a lot of people, and there's like for instance, Kanye West. Kanye West, what we've seen in the media eventually about his ego and he's narcissistic like Donald Trump, I saw that a very long time ago. I saw that before he had his first single out. When Jay-Z put his albums out and Kanye had produced a couple of songs, one day I went to do, it was an album release party for Jay-Z, and I'm there, I'm interviewing people, I'm getting ready to interview Jay-Z, and one of the producers said, "Hey, Ray, can you do me a favor and interview this guy right here, Kanye? He did a song on the album, I want you to interview him. So I went over to him with the camera, and I was like, yeah, you know, so he told me to do an interview. Can we go do it now? He's like, yo, you got to give me a minute. You got to give me some time. I looked at him. I was like, nigga. Yeah, like, who the fuck are you? That was one time. The second time, I'm at Hot 97 Summer Jam. We backstage. Kanye just came out with a song. So the song was hot. They decided to let him come out and do the single. He backstage. My brother was doing these airbrush shirts. My brother was the first one to do Biggie, Tupac. It was hot at the time. It was being sold in Dr. J's. He blew up after I put the shirts on a lot of artists because I had that access. So we did one with Kanye's face on it. So I gave Kanye his shirt. I'm like, yeah, Kanye, you know, can throw this on. We're going to do an interview with you. So he's like, all right, cool. He said, yo, man, I don't usually do this, but he's like, all right, cool. So he's getting ready to put the shirt on, and the camera dude puts the camera up. Kanye loses his mind. Yo, nigga, cut that shit off, son. Yo, word up, man. I can't be seen like that. Yo, word, man. Yo, put that shit down. I'm like, looking at this nigga. He's like, yo, let me tuck that shit in first. That was around the time when the clothes was getting tight.
Yeah.
It wasn't. We were just moving away from the baggy shit,
the big stuff. Yeah.
And Kanye was starting to change that, you know, because he's a fashion dude. But it was even at that time, man. And I seen this guy's personality. I'm like, yo, this dude right here is an asshole, bro.
Wow.
And sure enough, eventually, you know, the public starts to see it. But I get to see all of this backstage.
Yeah.
So when Puffy sees me now in public, because I remember he was a dancer. I did something on 125th Street in front of the state office building. I was hosting something out there. Puffy wasn't even
there. He goes.
Yeah. And he was a video dancer. That's how far back I know Puff.
Wow.
So I see the evolution of his career. And when I see him now, he'll see me across the room. Yo, Ray, come here. And I go up to him and I talk to him like a regular person, man. It's just amazing that, all the experiences that I've had, I would never change it, first of all. Every rapper that has died, I've interviewed, from Aaliyah to Big Pun to Freaky Ty, Tupac, I interviewed, Biggie, all of them. I mean, I've got archives of shit that sometimes I don't even believe that I was, with these guys when the whole shit started.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. What was the biggest interview you ever had in terms of maybe relevance? Maybe socially relevant or relevant in your life or career at the time. What would you say is the biggest one that you had?
The biggest interview that I felt was a big interview was with Eminem.
Okay.
Because he was just fire I know they were talking. Oh, by the way, my top two rappers of all time is Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer.
Yo, my favorite rap group is 357.
Yeah. CB4
Eminem was on superstar status at the time when I interviewed him. So it was a big interview for me. And I used to be impressed sometimes when Ralph goes, you do the interview, right? You do it. I'm like, word? And he'll be there. Ralph will be there. And he'll go, yo, Ray. I never thought that he would say, you do it. Even with Biggie. I think that when I did I interviewed Biggie 3 times. But the one that you saw was at Ralph McDaniel's birthday party. We was at an event in the city with Ralph party. And Biggie came and Jay-Z freestyled that night. Biggie performed. Puffy was there. It was crazy. And y'all remember the Ark in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Ark is the first time when I seen like Busta and KRS-One. And by the way, KRS-One is in my top 10. I don't know if you guys ever had a chance to see him live, like really, really perform.
Yeah.
But that nigga is amazing, bro.
Amazing. Nobody can follow behind him.
Amazing. He's amazing.
Him and DMX, the only 2 rappers I could think of right now. I think nobody want to follow behind. DMX is a different kind of energy on when he comes on stage. And KRS-One.
Yeah.
And one thing I want people to know: Scott LaRock lived down the block from me in Queens, and my man Brad can testify that. He used to be at Skyhouse. Me and his brother Chris hung out all the time. So Scott, when he went at Queens, I had to go at Scott up there. I was like, bro, you're down the block. We almost had a little battle on the block there, man. But so Ray, let me ask you a question, man. Which video you ever saw? I said we can't play this goddamn video on the show. This shit is whack. You ever said that to him?
See that. I really wasn't involved in that. That was all Ralph. But Ralph wouldn't play anything that was. It was too much. He called it, TNA, too much titties and ass.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it on the show.
Right.
Anything with nigga, like all that kind of stuff, Ralph wouldn't put it on the show. But one thing that I've realized though, Didi, over time is that there's some artists that I felt were whack, but that was my own subjective opinion. And if somebody played a few songs for me, the one that we normally think is not going to be the hit is the one that normally becomes the hit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I didn't think this was going to be all that, but this shit right here is number one, on the billboards. It's crazy how so I tried my best to be neutral. I didn't want to treat any artist different than any other, because let's face it, at the time when I was with Video Music Box, the whole hip hop industry was growing up. We were in the infantile stages. Ralph was the first one to give a visual to somebody's music. We would hear people and like, yo, what does this nigga look like? Like, who is this dude? Like, people wanted to see it. And so it was an amazing part of the evolution of hip hop, where Ralph was able to take it and now put a face to it, where people can see those people performing that music, and then along with the fashion and the graffiti and the dancing and the whole hip hop culture, because it's made up of a whole bunch of different elements. It's not just the music, it's the culture behind it, and it all worked together. You guys may not even notice either. So Ralph had a fashion show we did every year called Fat Fashion. And Anichi, Fubu got founded at our fashion show. There was some Korean financiers there, and that's where Fubu got their start. Damien John will always tell you that, and it's in his bio, that the first time anybody recognized for us by us was at one of our fashion shows called Fat Fashion. So that's why, the whole culture to me is just an amazing thing that we've all been through. I'm a little older than you guys, but I got to see it from the beginning, man. I'm just happy that Ralph gave me that opportunity. So, now when I look back and I reflect, I'm like, shit, man. I remember there was no videos. I remember.
Yeah. Ray, let me ask you this last one from me. Because of that, in the 90s, I remember everybody was trying to become a rapper. Everywhere you went, everybody's trying to buy studio time. How was it for you to go somewhere in public? I'm sure people were trying to break their neck to either give you tapes or something. I can only imagine the stories it could have been. How was that?
It was crazy. First of all, and I worked for Ralph, but if you were on TV and you worked for Ralph McDaniels, the hottest video show in the tri-state area, and by the way, regional video show, Ralph got a Billboard's award 22 years in a row for the #1 regional video show. And a lot of people don't know that. Billboard's had awards for local stuff as well. And although we were only in the tri-state area, we were trendsetters and a difference maker in the music industry. It's like, okay, if you want your song played, you got to go to Flex, but if you want your video played, you got to get it on Video Music Box. So when they would see me in the street, and believe it or not, Kelvin, even today, even up until today, people give me music to try to get it, even up until today. Now, back then, every time I left my house, somebody was giving me a cassette tape or a CD. And sometimes, Crazy Sam would go, yo, niggas give me some shit, I'm a frisbee that shit. Yo, and I used to get a bunch of them. Give them the rap, because if some music is going to be played or video is going to be played, it's got to go through Ralph anyway. You know, I respect the chain of command. It's like I never, and I think that's why me and Ralph are still friends until today, is because I respect Ralph. I never stepped on his toes. I thought it was a platform for me to eventually take my popularity. I'm not even going to say celebrity. I'm going to say popularity and put it to good use and develop my own lane and create my own lane, which you guys know I am, 100% into the comedy game right now. Music is in my heart. I still love music. I get hired to host a lot of old school hip hop concerts, whether it's at the Barclays or the Garden or wherever. I still love doing that. I enjoy it. But comedy, I decided to do comedy because I didn't want to step on Ralph's toes. I didn't want to go start my own video show. I didn't want to go to a label and ask for sponsor money, because I would be getting it in the name of Video Music Box. That's where I got my name from. So if I go there, they're going to give it to me on that straight. So then if Ralph goes and follows behind me to Sony, and Sony goes, oh, we just gave Ray $10,000. That's when Ralph would have been like, yo, nigga, what you doing? Right. You know what I mean? So I respected the game. I respected the principles in the game. And I used it to my advantage. So now, not only do I still call Ralph for things, but he calls me also. So we have a nice fair exchange in what we do in the industry.
So Ray, man, like, I know you for a super long time. Yeah, I still look in good shape. I got a picture I gotta show in a little video, man. So producer Jamie, show something on Ray. Let's see how this motherfucker keep doing it. Go ahead, Jamie.
All right, y'all know what it is. It's workout season. Now it's free because the parks are available. No more paying for the gym. You got to get your workout on. I'm getting ready to reach my 57th birthday. This is how I do it in the park.
All right, my man. All right, man.
So you ready?
Ray.
What I'm saying?
Ray, you look like you just came home from unpaid parking tickets. You working?
So Rodney, let me tell you, man. Yeah. So that's a good segue into the fact that I do have a history, man. And again, man, you don't understand how humbled I am that Ralph gave me a shot, because everything works hand in hand. Listen, guys, I've been arrested like 32 times. I did 3 bids. My last bid was 3 years. I mean, I started off as a teenager, fucking up, bro, selling drugs and doing everything that I did, man. So got my GED while I was incarcerated. Started college, came out in the street. Couple of years in the street, Ralph gave me a shot, bro. So like, I was very young, man, when I started with Ralph. I've known Ralph like 30 years now. You know what I mean? And the reason why I still do pull-ups is because jail is still in me, man. I do a jail workout. I don't know anything different than that. And
that's the best workout, though, Ray.
Yeah,
that's the best workout. Those calisthenics. That's the thing that gets your body right.
Ray looked like one of them dudes that's in one of them Viagra commercials that was about to get in the tub with his lady. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? Got his gray hair shining. He's still last of the dudes with the good hair.
Don't be mad at that. Don't be mad at none of that. You better bring that shit in your life.
No, you know that.
Chick, you get ready to smash, you gotta ask her 3 questions. Listen, you want me to fuck the shit out of you? You want to have regular sex? Or do you want me to jail rape your ass? You want me to jail rape you? I need a Red Bull, a Jamaican drink, and a Viagra. Wow. I will destroy you. You want regular dick? Huh? What? I'm just drinking orange juice.
Yo, Ray, funniest story behind the scenes with a celebrity. Funniest story you can remember.
Funniest story. Let me see. Oh, it's funny, but it's sensitive, but it's funny.
Okay.
So every year, Fat Joe and the Terror Squad would always get a float for the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
I've seen it.
Video Music Box always covered it. I was always on the float with Big Pun, Fat Joe, Tony Sunshine, The whole squad. Big Pun. This shit was hilarious, bro. Could not get on the float because he was too big. The nigga at the time had to be 500, damn near 600 pounds. Yo, Big Pun was like huge. I don't know if you've ever met him in person.
Yeah.
I did. I saw him in person.
Pun used to have a bed in his living room.
Yo, you know how we got him on the float? We had to go get a forklift.
Get out of here.
God damn.
Put this nigga on the float. Yo, son. I stopped laughing, kid. I was like, nah, this is impossible. Fat Joe was like, fuck that. We got it. I forgot the managers dude. We went around the corner because they couldn't pick the nigga up to put him up there.
Wow.
They had some plywood and some 2x4s and put it on a forklift to get Pun on the float.
Damn.
Yeah. I actually
a
got
little
a big
sensitive, but the shit was funny to me.
Yo, this shit's funny.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
funny.
That shit was funny.
Now I'm about to do your jail workouts because I don't want to be the next Big Pun. I'm in there. I'm in
Yo.
I
got a big Pun story. And it actually was on one of the Puerto Rican Day parades. I'm standing outside on the corner, and Big Pun pulls up to me and asks me directions. How could he get out? Because he was in a Benz. I've never seen anything like this. He was so big, I couldn't see the driver because I was on one side of the car. I couldn't see who was driving the car. He was that big. He was blocking the driver.
Yeah, he's big.
He took up the whole side of the passenger seat of the car.
Wow.
Yeah, but he was a nice dude. I mean, he was mad cool. Yeah,
very nice dude, man.
Yeah.
But he used to be breathing and shit like.
Yeah, he was breathing very heavy. Yes,
they had to bring some like buckets in for the nigga to pee in and shit because he couldn't get on and off the float. I mean, it's bro. It's like those times, man. Those little sensitive times, man. I had these like real crazy, intimate moments. Remember, so. Being on Video Music Box, I got invited to a lot of shit. So I'll tell you another story. So Mike Tyson, who I used to work for, this is when Mike was in his prime. Mike wanted to start a music label. So I was part of the music label with Mike Tyson. We had this crazy office on Willoughby, downtown Brooklyn. Anyway, he's a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. We celebrate our birthdays together. This is when he had the mansion, the one that 50 bought from him.
Connecticut. Up in Connecticut.
Yeah. One in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
So he invited me. He's like, yo, Ray, come, I'm gonna give you a room. You can stay overnight. Every celebrity you could imagine, every major artist was there. We partying in Mike Tyson's crib. The shit was dope. So I'm not starstruck or nothing because I'm around all these dudes all the time anyway. So, but for anybody that's coming as your guest, it's crazy for them. They like, yo, this shit is crazy. So Tretch was there. Brought some niggas from Newark. I get my own room. Every room in the house is a duplex. So I fell asleep. Everybody went to sleep, got up in the morning. Niggas got up, figured, and found out that they got robbed. I had a Rolex, a ring, bracelet. All my shit was gone. Mike Tyson's sister Jackie, her Rolex. Some niggas went through the house while everybody was sleeping and robbed people.
Wow.
So Mike Tyson gets up in the morning, calls me in the room. He's like, yo, Ray. So I want you to be honest with me. Tell me how much this shit costs, but don't lie to me. Ray. Just tell me what it costs. I'm going to pay for all your shit right now. Just give me a price. I'm paying for everything. Anybody who got robbed, he took money out of a safe. And he was paying everybody for their shit. No, I don't give a fuck how much it costs. The next day, but he goes, yo, I'm going to find out who did this shit, Ray. The next day, Tretch from Naughty by Nature calls me. Yo, Ray, remember the Motown Cafe guys?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Ray, meet me at the Motown Cafe. You know how wild Tretch is.
Yeah.
Tretch says, meet me at the Motown Cafe, my nigga. I got all your shit back.
Oh, wow.
So what Mike Tyson did was Mike called all the main niggas that he invited who brought people with him. He said, yo, I want you to flush out your crews, your little crony niggas that run with you, flush them niggas out, find out who robbed my shit. And Tretch found out. They beat this nigga to a pulp and got all this shit back.
Wow.
Because when Mike Tyson speaks, people listen.
Back.
Like,
That's the good one. That's the good one. That was good. That's the great one.
It happens, man. Like, yeah, man.
Yo, Ray, that was great. So, Ray, what else you got going on? Like you said, you have the comedy. You can tell people about the comedy that you do at Linden Diner and all the other stuff, and tell about the trips that you're throwing coming up this summer.
Okay, so my brand, I'm always going to be Video Music Box, but my brand that I created is called Laughaholics. The reason why I call it Laughaholics is because when I came home from doing time, I developed a cocaine problem. I was a bass head. I was going down to Fat Cat on 150, and I was copping those $20 bags from them girls that you couldn't give singles to. I don't know if y'all remember that shit.
Yeah, bro. You know Fat Cat's from around the way, so I know.
Supreme Team and Fat Cat and all of that. I became a drug addict. And this was around the time, a few years after I was out. I put myself in a drug program, came out of the drug program. So because I was an addict before, that's why like now my brand is called Laughaholics, because you can't lose no money. It's not going to mess you up physically. It's not going to mess up your relationship. You can become addicted to laughter. You can laugh all the fuck you want, and you're not going to lose nothing. You use drugs, you lose every fucking thing. That's why I call it Laughaholics. All right, moving forward from that. So I created this brand, and again, thanks to Ralph, I got to meet a lot of people. So any A-list comedian that's out there right now, I have relationships with, whether it's Tracy Morgan, D.L. Hughley, Mike Epps, Kevin Hart, they all started with me. So using my popularity, and I was still on Video Music Box, I used to do my own comedy shows. I would find a restaurant, a bar, a place, and I would do my own show. And I started creating that. And all of these guys, Michael Blackson, they all started with me from when I was doing Video Music Box and doing my parties and my events. So when I broke off from Ralph, I decided to create a comedy empire. And from that, it grew over the years. And I book comedians now. I do bigger shows, maybe 4 times a year. And then locally, I have a venue that I operate out of a restaurant. I've been there 15 years consistently. I do Wednesday and Thursday. It's called Laughaholics Comedy Club. And so now during this pandemic, we weren't able to do anything indoors. So I created I was the first person to do the drive-in comedy series. Dave Chappelle, when he just did his special, the one he did outside, he mentioned me in that. He's like, yeah, my man in Brooklyn was the first one to do the drive-in. And now everybody's doing the drive-in comedy around the country. So I had to get innovative. And I created that, which I'm getting ready to start the old school hip hop series. I'm going to do a drive-in old school hip hop show with Big Daddy Kane in 2 weeks.
Yo, Ray, that's my favorite artist, Ray.
We're coming.
Yeah. So
I'm there. I just want the good
going to drive-in. I convinced Slick Rick to do it, and I convinced Kane to do it. So
wow.
Ray, I want my parking spot right there.
Yeah. So can you imagine that? A drive-in show with Kane?
Right. Yeah. I'm already there. I'm already there.
So I've been able to make a living, put my kids through college. I live comfortably. Just through this brand of doing comedy. I'm very, very particular about how the delivery of it and the professionalism and how the customer's treated from A to Z. I'm really hands-on. And over time, since I always had a humorous personality, I learned how to do stand-up myself. I learned the technical aspects of stand-up. So I put in all these ad-libs that I do here and there. I've been able to structure it into a set. So sometimes I tour with the Queen of Comedy some more. I've been out with D.L. Hughley. I've been out with Bill Bellamy. I feature for them. And it's something that I love. I love being on stage. I love moving crowds. I love being able to, like when you're in front of an audience of 5,000 people, guys, it's like a hell of a feeling. It's drugs to me. It's like, that's my new drug. When you're able to control and move an audience and you watch everybody from the bottom of the crowd all the way to the top, it's like a wave of laughter, man. It's just a hell of a feeling that I enjoy a lot, man. But it was good that I learned the business part first. So because I know the business part, I've been really able to maintain, a good life, man. And again, I thank Ralph because he gave me a shot, man, to put my face and my likeness out there, and to be able to meet all these people so I could bring it together. My resources are deep, you know.
Yeah.
So last but not least, and this is the first people that I'm telling this. Next week, I'm signing my lease. I'm opening a soundstage comedy club, which is going to be on Washington Avenue and Park Avenue in Brooklyn, 1 block from the Navy Yard.
Beautiful. Dope.
It's going to seat 250 people. My grand opening is going to be sometime in July. I'm in the building phase right now. It's going to be a state-of-the-art $200,000 sound system, a sound stage comedy club. Those are the two loves of my life, and I'm bringing it together. And it's going to be called 275 Park, the home of Laughaholics Comedy Club. And so that's coming. I'm really excited about that. The pandemic has allowed me to get Trump to give me some fucking money that I'm taking, and I'm going to make some good use out of it. I didn't spend none of that because I had DeJeon Entertainment now as an LLC for like 20 years. They gave me that bread that I don't have to pay back, but I didn't spend it.
Good.
All that money is going right into there.
Yeah, I'm glad you.
Wow.
Better not be buying no Gucci underwear. Tell us about your trip real quick.
Bro.
Tell us about the trip. Man. Tell us about the trips before we wrap up.
So I do this every year. I work with this group called Lady Diamonds, and we do like a vacation trips. We're going to Costa Rica, and the Queen of I just booked the Queen of Comedy some more. She's the headliner of the weekend, and it's great, man. It's like, you know, a bunch of us go out. We got 400 people already. We're looking to do about 800 to 1,000 people. We just go to an island, go to Costa Rica to an all-inclusive venue, and we have entertainment every day, theme parties, excursions, comedy show, everything. Super DJs, a lot of different DJs at the event. But it's nice, you know. I don't know if you guys remember, I was the main host at the Cancun All-Star Fiesta. Chris Latimer used to do that back in the days. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, baby Chris.
Yeah, Chris Latimer used to do that in Cancun. I was the main host. And then Ed Lover came on. It was me and him that hosted that for like 10 years in a row until DJ Self and them started coming down there doing free parties. And then they took it over. So it's a lot of history, man. Like
man.
That we've done.
Ray, what's the dates of the trip before we go? What's the dates you got?
July 22nd through July 26th.
And how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, give out your Instagram and everything that you.
Yeah, my Instagram is at Ray DeJeon, RayDeJeon. I'm a businessman as well, so my website is DeJeonEntertainment.com. And don't forget to check out my TV show on Amazon Prime. It's called Laughaholics Live. I have about 32 episodes up there. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can check out my show up there. It's called Laughaholics Live on Amazon Prime. So check that out when you get an opportunity.
Yo, Ray, I want to thank you, man, from the back for everybody. Let's chop it up, brother. You know how much I love you, man. Me and you've been friends for decades. You my dude. You know, every time I see you, you always show me love. Like Ray, one thing I say with Ray, I don't care if Ray met 1,001 celebrity people. As soon as I walk through the door, he always showed me love, no matter where it was.
Yep.
So I always appreciate you for that, man. You always never forgot where you came from. You my dude for life, bro.
So what I'm gonna do for you guys, all four of you, is you know, I don't know if you saw DJ Self do this, but they have the new man weave. The man weave.
This bastard got the last laugh.
Yeah, he tried to get the last laugh.
That motherfucker, man.
I'm gonna get y'all niggas some permanent waves.
Yo, they got the waves of the beards now too, man.
Man.
That's why I'm gonna take my PPP. I'm gonna give me some hair. I'm buying me some hair back, goddammit.
Yo, thank you, fellas. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, Ray.
I can't let that slide. This is our show.
Oh, Rodney. Albie Shore as Ray.
That's good. But I don't know. Rodney. Yeah, Rodney. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but you know you look just like a nigga Bert from Sesame Street, right? You know?
Oh, God. Ray, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure.
It's the eyebrows. It's the eyebrows for me, my nigga.
Yo, Ray, man. Thank you, man. Love you, man. Tell Jay to say what's up, man. All right, man.
Hey, Didi, call me about Kane. Call me about Kane.
I'm gonna call you. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you tomorrow.
All right, cool. All right,
man. All right, man. Peace.
Yeah.
Yo, this was a great show. I'm sorry, people. We have Fredro Starr from Onyx lined up, but Freddie, when he's in the studio, he was with his kids, and some stuff went down. With how he got a little young one. So Fredro said, "D, I'll be back. Just let me know whenever date you want to come back on." But he's with his family, so some things went on. And we did see him when we was rehearsing. He was with his children. So sorry about that. But this was a great show, man. This was a great show. Ray's got a lot of history. Ray
is a class act. Me and you went to his drive-in show. We had a great time. We took our ladies with us. It's probably the most safest environment that probably since COVID's been out. Like, because you get to stay in your car and you get in a show right in your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you go inside, you bring the food to your car, you in your car. It's a very nice environment. It's right at Lindenwood Diner. If anybody want to get in contact with Ray about the show, just reach out to me and I'll put you in contact with Ray. Ray, and that's Rodney. If Rodney didn't know, I knew Ray, and Ray picks up the phone and texts back himself directly to you.
That's right. And the thing is, like, I dealt with Ray on the phone, didn't even know me and you knew each other. And like I said, the dude was a class act.
Yeah, straight professional. And also at the show we had Anton Gunn. Anton always bring it. Damien, that was dope. And I like the brothers also talk about on the side with the mentoring. They both mentor people and stuff like that. But the hip hop segment was very dope. Selective, subjective list, different list, but good list. You gotta say. So.
Man, it's a very personal list, man. Lists are a very personal thing, man. That's what causes all the nice little interesting interactions and arguments in the barbershop.
And next week, ladies and gentlemen, if you please, we want to have a advice segment part of the show next week. We're gonna hear from 4 wise men here, and we want all the ladies and gentlemen, for any advice, any kind of questions, like bring them up to us, bring them to our producer Jamie, bring them to Kelvin, Rodney, and Derek, and myself. And we want to start this new segment off next week. And anything else you guys want to say?
And we're also going to have contests and giveaways next week.
Yes, that's right.
We got to go out. We got to go out with a happy birthday to my man. So happy birthday.
That's right.
Happy birthday, Derek.
Derek is 26 today. 26.
Yeah. 26 is on today.
Thank you, brother.
And Derek, and the guy that comes out the door all the time, he said he got strippers for you tonight for your birthday. At least it's a happy birthday, man. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for always
watching the best.
And we're gonna be using Lisa's image on our shows too. So a lot of people want to see Lisa a lot. She might get started noticed walking down the street whenever we go back outside. People want to say, "Hey, I know her." So and my man Brad, aka Jelly.
I just want to say this too. My wife is my witness. I even called D. I got recognized on the street for this show.
Yep,
I'm a celebrity.
That's right.
Yo, brothers, I love you guys, man. Let's chop it up next week, man. People like and subscribe, please. Love you, brothers, man. Peace.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night, y'all. Thanks for watching.